over. I hope that got in.
Holy shit.
That was almost perfectly timed. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 143. It has been...
What a week.
It has been a week. So I need to start off with...
just Mike things.
A story. So, and again, this is...
I'm just like, ooh, can I make it? Can I do it? Can BG cover for me?
For the hiccup. So, as I've talked about on the podcast, a month or so ago, got into a car accident. So,
oh no!
Just because I hit public property, I was issued a citation. The cop had to give me one, and basically, he even recommended just go to court.
Mikey in court?
Yeah, it's like, go to court. You'll get basically plead not guilty. You'll get a new court date. On that court date, we'll talk with us 99.9% of the time for an accident like this, especially since no one else is involved. They'll waive the ticket. I'm like, okay, sure. Like the officer recommended it. I'm gonna do it. So go through, get the new court date, and when I am at basically getting the paperwork, they're like, all right, we have your address and that. We will mail you out a new court date for your next court session. I'm like, okay, cool. So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Never received anything in the mail. Nothing. So I'm getting concerned. So I go onto their website, find out that you can look up information about your case online with your case number. So I look up my case. I did have a court date. It was April 10th. I missed it. So, and then there was a bench warrant issued for my arrest.
You could have got done up over some old bush, Mike.
Like I said, only me.
Mike's not here for the podcast.
So
I'm not answering his phone or anything.
So
he's not dead.
I looked that up last night at 10. Got stressed the fuck out. I'm like, I have a warrant?
Oh no.
So I had to go.
Just getting darker and darker.
I had to go this morning to the courthouse, pay the bond to get rid of the warrant, and I'm gonna have a new court date issued. But like, if in any time between April 10th and now, if I would have gotten pulled over for anything, I would have been arrested on the spot.
Just God, oh my goodness.
It's just like, are you
not to sound like a douche or anything, but that would have been amazing.
Like in hindsight, because like I would have been able to pay the bond there, and then like it wouldn't have been a terrible deal. But like,
yeah, misdemeanor, no problems. But it's still.
Oh, but you still would have been in county lockup for a little bit.
Yes,
just the stress levels of him would have been amazing. Salt.
Just, of course. And like
Mike
I
walks
even
out
go
being
and they're
there
like,
for
oh yeah, we
hours
had
of
like
beer.
they're like, here's your address, and they read me my address and it was correct, and like, yeah, we sent it out to you. I'm like, well, I didn't fucking get it, and you guys told me to wait for it in the mail. So I'm looking at this website now like a hawk for this new court date because I don't want to deal with that shit again.
Your court date is scheduled for April 10th. Wait, what?
Just the thought process
no more
and
appeals.
the downward spiral of just like, okay, here's my court date. Wait, April 10th. April 10th. What's
April 10th? That's
warrant?
That's not this month.
Warrant. It was like warrant OI or something. Like, so I Google what that means, and it's just like,
Warrant of arrest. Oh no.
oh fuck,
What
I
is it?
actually have a warrant for my arrest. And like they're also supposed to
Of all of us.
mail
Of
you.
all of us.
They're
It's
also
Mike who's the first to get a warrant out in his name.
Of course. And I looked up too, they're supposed to mail you that like you have a warrant out for your arrest. Didn't get that either. So just something's up with how they're sending mail out, because I didn't get jack shit.
You mean a bureaucratic body isn't sending out the correct forms? That's a shocker, Mike.
I
Come
know.
on, they're better than that.
I mean, come on, it's our government. Nothing's wrong with our government at all.
I wish Mike would have got arrested.
That would have been amazing.
Would have been the best news. Like,
Oh.
nobody can reach Mike. What's going on? This is weird. Hope he's okay. He's just sitting in a jail cell playing a harmonica.
He's got a full beard now. He's got hair growing all over his arms.
Playing Zelda tunes on the
smuggling
harmonica.
the harmonica?
No, let's be real. I'd have an ocarina in jail. I'm just that nerdy. Like, let's be real here.
No.
Shaky hands trying to play the Song of Thor.
No,
Get me out
no.
of here.
He's sitting there praying the Song of Time works to send his ass to better days.
Gets out of jail. Horseless buggies. It's good. I can't handle it out here. Put me back in.
So you've been there for 2 weeks.
Oh boy.
I don't even have words.
So yeah, that was my yesterday, night, and today.
Mike the Felon.
And there's BG here. No ID. Do you have an ID yet?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
What type of
You,
fool
you
walks around
can't
without ID?
say it like that.
No fool walks around without IDs. You can get done up for so many things.
Okay.
Like missing a court date.
You know what's funny? Like 4 days after getting my ID, I needed my ID.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
No. Oh my god.
I'm the best.
You're the worst.
I'm
You're
the
the best until the 1 second where your armor is down, and then it's just like a crab where you're just such soft and fleshy underneath that anything is just gonna blow you away, and it's gonna happen, and it's gonna hurt
Oh yeah.
bad.
But until then, the best.
Literally fucking Vegeta from season 1 of DBZ Abridged, where he's about to get crushed by Gohan. I'm the best around. No one's ever going to keep me down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So we have 2 big things to talk about, and then I have a bunch of other smaller things. So we're gonna go through the small shit first, and then go to the 2 important bits that happened over the last weekend. Or week. So, Days Gone came out, and it's
Yep.
doo-doo.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I think it was free on PSN a day of release.
like, I didn't see that much advertising leading up to it. Like,
Nope.
they had pushed
I
it
saw a
hard.
lot of guerrilla marketing.
Okay, like,
Okay.
they pushed it hard for a couple of E3s, but then it just kind of got pushed over here. Because like I feel like the zombie craze is just kind of past.
No,
Oh yeah.
no, I
No?
disagree.
Really?
I think zombies can still work. Like if the game was good, people wouldn't go, "Oh, it's only good because of zombies," or "It's lowered because of zombies." I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think the days of just having zombies carry your game is over. But if the game was good, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I can agree with that, but like there was a point where there was added hype just because there was a peak of the air quotes zombie craze, so to speak.
I feel like there was some hype with this because of how many zombies there were, the hordes, and how to get through them. And
Yeah, the hordes, the way the horde worked really hyped
Push
people
me
up.
over.
Ugh. Like I feel like
It's
there was hype
uncomfortable time.
when it got first announced like 4 years ago about the
Yeah.
zombie hordes, but then it died. But yeah, terrible reviews. Just today, Epic Games acquired the Rocket League dev Psyonix.
Yeah, saw that.
So just more money for Rocket League, and Epic Games has another thing to put on their store.
Yeah.
KH3 story DLC kind of got a little teaser at a
Remind. Yep.
orchestral performance. They kind of announced a few things: new Keyblade, new secret boss, some new story stuff. But more information will be coming out probably at E3. And then Persona S got revealed. It is not a Persona 5 port for the Switch. It is a
Rip.
Persona 5 Muso game, like a la Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. Which I'm all about, and it is coming out for the
Yeah,
Switch as well.
absolutely.
Nah.
But
Absolutely, we in there. We in there.
I have
Oh, yeah.
never been a fan of the word.
I love those games.
Love them.
I don't get it.
I'm just pissed though that it's not Persona 5 for the Switch. Have to make do. Okay.
One day.
So let's go for the smaller of the big things first. So the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog the movie got released.
Yeah.
DA, you've been somewhat defending this movie when we've talked about it. What are your thoughts?
Hashtag looks fine.
Hashtag looks fine.
Hashtag whatever. Hashtag I got a lot more from it than the Pokemon trailers.
Oof.
Both of them.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm gonna take over for this.
Sure.
What?
That was all of our thoughts. BG, great job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Neither of the Pokemon trailers made me laugh or even crack a smile except for one moment, and that was
Because-
the end with the can I finish? You
Go
ask me a question
Go
and
ahead.
then you just interrupt me? How rude.
Go
I'll
ahead.
walk out of here right now. This interview will be over.
Robert.
All right, Kelly.
I got you gotta quit playing. So the biggest sort of thing I got was the end with the Mr. Mime thing where he's on the bike. And that was just like went along a little bit too long, but I still got and the second trailer was mostly joke. A little bit of story stuff, a little bit of Mewtwo, but it was mostly joke. This is like the get you reeled in. We got you with the Pokemon, now we'll get the comedy fans. I didn't laugh particularly at the Sonic trailer, but I smiled a couple times, and that was more than the other one. I think that the lightning is a good effect. Looks good. I think that when he did the spin thing, looked good. I like how they did that. Robotnik looks good. Carrie looks like he's gonna do quite well with that. Sonic sounds good. He doesn't look too bad in motion. So, nod head. Then you're just like,
Are you done?
yeah, it's just fine.
Okay. You already didn't like how the Pokemon looked, so you went into the Pokemon trailer with a very mindset to begin with. That's why you didn't crack a smile. Whereas
No,
you've been,
no.
Can I talk? Can I talk without being interrupted?
Do this.
Oh, let's do it. Oh, you gonna write down what I'm saying?
'Cause
Okay.
This isn't you can't win this because it's just opinions.
Oh,
So we
okay.
can tie.
All right, let's see this.
All right, I'll take
Oh.
49, but you ain't gonna destroy me.
So, whereas with the Sonic, since the Sonic design has come out and everyone's been, this is f***ing trash, you've gone, it's fine, it's better than Pokemon. You already had in your mind that you needed to be justified with this bush, and do not mistake it. It is bush. What were the parts where you laughed at? Or cracked a smile
Am I
at?
allowed to talk
Yes.
now, sire?
Yes, and don't tell me it's Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey.
It
'cause
was
that's-
Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey because Pikachu is just Ryan Reynolds.
But
Don't
you're
hear me crack.
okay, so why is it fine for Jim Carrey?
I didn't say it was fine.
But you
I
cracked a
said I cracked
smile.
a smile.
You're not rolling your eyes like
No.
with Ryan Reynolds.
No, it wasn't that it was Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. It was that it wasn't funny. You didn't laugh. Chris didn't laugh. Corey didn't laugh.
We all
Nobody
saw it.
was cracking a smile. Nobody was laughing.
We've already all seen that
Did you
trailer.
laugh, smile, anything?
I definitely smiled.
Wow.
Wow for your smile.
Exactly.
What you
So
mean?
we're on equal
Piss on
terms
your-
here. We're on equal terms here.
Okay, but
Oh my god.
yours is it's Jim Carrey. The movie isn't making you smile. Jim Carrey
There was
is.
also the moment where the gun part where he was that was pretty.
no, it was.
No,
tell
it
me-
wasn't.
You're
Not the
listing the
part-
Scream as a positive?
not the scream, but the whole interaction.
The meow scene is a positive.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding?
I smiled from it. I'm not saying that it's an Oscar nominated. Oh, it's Dumb and Dumber too. No, I smiled. I went, yeah.
The same thing happened in the Pikachu trailer.
Yep.
When?
The very first one, he comes with a stapler and Pikachu gets up and the guy screams.
That wasn't it wasn't the scream that was funny. It was the whole interaction.
Okay, and they
It's the same
interact.
type of
Just a
interaction,
scream.
though.
It's not the
It
scream
was-
and the interaction. It's the words.
What were the words?
I don't remember the words.
But they were funny. Okay,
Sure.
go ahead. Keep
Sure.
it moving.
What
Keep
was
it moving.
is Dumb and Dumber funny?
Yes.
What was funny about it? Oh, the
Uh,
pooping scene. Don't hand me the pooping scene.
No, the most annoying sound in the world is hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, they catch up to the guys and slit their throats. Hilarious. What? I think two
I saw the
scenes
trailer once.
You need to watch it again.
Mhm.
You know why? Because you have no desire to watch
Are
it
you
again.
finished with your point by point destruction of me?
No.
Can
but-
I rebut?
Yeah, rebut.
Okay.
Your
The first
butt.
thing I went into it with a negative mindset and didn't laugh because of it. I already didn't like the Pokemon. Doesn't matter if I like the Pokemon or not. It's Pikachu on screen and he's talking. I can detach myself away from that because the only Pokemon that said or did anything funny was Pikachu. Other than that, it was just a parade of here's a Meowth, here's a Bulbasaur, here's this, here's that. It was just Pikachu. It doesn't matter if I found the Pokemon particularly ugly or anything. It was just the fact that I just didn't find Pikachu particularly.
But I feel like at the same time, if it wasn't Ryan Reynolds, you would have laughed.
I don't think so. I don't have
Because
a grudge against Ryan Reynolds.
I
or
feel like
anything.
your whole you come in with a negative connotation simply because it's Pikachu being Ryan Reynolds,
No.
even though it's not Pikachu being Ryan Reynolds. It's like
It's just-
half Reynolds.
It's just the words that weren't.
It's like Ryan Ren.
It's just the words that
Ri-
weren't.
His half brother,
They were fine.
Ryan Rand.
The theater was packed. I don't know. I can't have a survey about the people and have they seen the trailer and whatnot. No laughs though.
Okay. Nobody applauded at our Star Wars trailer and did for Mike. That means nothing, kid.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying, it's just a small survey size sampling that I'm giving, and
The sample is trash.
yeah, probably. But I can only go from what I see, and what I see is I didn't smile or laugh. Nobody around me did. I'm not saying that should inform how the quality of the movie. I'm just saying that the comedy probably isn't working for a vast majority of people.
I disagree. Because I feel like nobody gave anything to any of those trailers. Because everybody was just waiting for the Avengers.
I can't say that.
Do you remember the other trailers?
No.
Okay. There was Detective Pikachu. There was Dora the Explorer.
Did we get Dora?
Y'all didn't. Y'all were still waiting back there.
Okay, so I can't speak to that.
there was nothing. Like,
Yes. What was the other one? I'm sure there was another one.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know. See?
But
Alright.
it's like,
But then people were there for the Avengers for Mike, and they clapped for Star Wars.
when was this?
They were there for the Avengers
What
first
Aven-
night,
What
and they
Avengers?
clapped for Star Wars.
See, that's a difference between first night where people are already amped for everything, and they'll moonwalk.
It was a packed theater.
They'll moonwalk through a sneezing Tony Stark, but it's 10 a.m. on a Saturday.
First showing on Saturday. Most
Did
people.
we get any of the craziness you thought we would get?
No.
That we would have got on a Thursday.
Absolutely not.
It's just a 10 a.m. Saturday show, and that's why I picked that one because it was a good thing. It was a good amount of people. They laughed appropriately. They shut up appropriately.
No phones. or
No
anything.
phone, bruh. It was one of our most perfect viewings.
Yeah, it was very weird for being so packed.
And there was
just
no seats.
problems. Baby cried once and then didn't cry again. I assumed it died. I don't care. Avengers.
So, yeah, go back to your phone.
Any other thing already better than Pokemon?
You already think it's better than Pokemon.
I
Yeah, with the,
vehemently disagree with
Sonic
that.
first.
Your whole
and nothing.
in motion, he looks like the lightning effect
He
is
looks
fine,
fine.
but
He
it's
looks fine.
the Flash on CW lightning effects.
He looked fine. I liked it. It adds a bit of style though. People are taking-
So I'm
Yeah,
going to put
you-
up a picture I
agree with
posted
that
in a
music
thread that we
choice in that
had
trailer?
of
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but you're about to forgive it.
No,
You're about
I'm
to
just saying,
excuse it.
we don't know how it's incorporated into the movie. We don't know.
It shouldn't be.
We don't know. We can't say it shouldn't be.
It should.
We don't know. We don't know what's going on with the music choice. If you look at the first Guardians trailer, didn't it have some wacky song? And people were like, "What is this wacky?"
It had 70s music, and it was featured prominently in the movie because
but we didn't know that until we saw the movie.
Okay,
actually,
but look at it like this: Guardians of the Galaxy had an '80s feel throughout. This is Gangsta's Paradise. It's when you think of Sonic, why should you think of Gangsta's Paradise?
The trailer had an '80s feel throughout.
No. There was 80. Yeah. Actually, it did.
Yeah.
Because of the music choice.
So it's just a music choice,
Yeah.
and then you automatically like, oh, '80s feel. No,
And
it's
then
just
the
a song
second
choice.
And then the second one, plus all the tapes and cassettes.
I was gonna say they showed Quill having cassettes and having a bunch of 70s
You
memorabilia.
can already see where it was coming from. He had a jukebox. He played it, and it played Gangsta's Paradise.
When did Sonic first? When was his first game?
What?
When was Sonic's first game?
Like 90.
The 90s.
Good for him.
Same thing as Gangsters Paradise.
No.
Oh,
No.
what?
No. The problem with that is if you think of in the 80s and Quill and stuff and all that making sense. And again, you can think of the Guardians and go 80s music.
I can't.
You can't.
Because we didn't have any information about these characters
No,
or
no,
anything.
no,
it was
no,
just
no.
this dude listening to this song.
No. I'm going for the full movie. You can,
so we can't speak to it unless we have the full movie of Sonic.
but what I'm saying is, if this is going to be incorporated into the movie, that means your first instance of Sonic as music-wise should be Gangsta's Paradise like it was for Guardians. And that's terrible.
We don't know. It could be when he's in the car with the dude, it's just the first song he's hearing. They're like, what is this song? And he had never heard a song before, and that sticks with him.
And then it's going to
just
play
like,
throughout.
Oh, I'm cool with humans now. I'm going to save your world.
Also,
Then it's going to play throughout.
We don't know if it's
So-
going to play throughout. It could just play right then, and near the end, as he's ready to fly off.
That's
the Sonic can fly.
terrible!
So I'm also going to set.
We
next
don't
to-
know. We're speaking of hypothetical movies that are not out yet.
But I'm going.
Bruh,
I'm going to set the
what
next.
happened? We don't
And it sounds
probably. Oh,
terrible.
yeah, like I said, probably Pikachu's gonna breathe fire. Shut up, Mike. This is a brother discussion. You're over there. We over here. You want to hurt BG's argument because that's all you're gonna do.
No, I'm
gonna
going
make
to. I'm
me
going to
win.
strengthen his argument.
Oh, you think you are?
Yeah. I'm gonna say so. Music expectations based on other media in their respective franchises. With Guardians, you knew Quill was a displaced kid from Earth in the comics from the 80s. So there was precedence in the comics.
I didn't read the comics. I didn't know.
In Sonic, there are two
I didn't
choices
read the
of
comics.
music
I
that
didn't
are
know.
prevalent in Sonic games. There is the 8-bit music from the classic Genesis series, which this trailer, by the way, says every hero has a Genesis. Terrible. And B,
No, that's
the
not.
butt rock from Crush 40.
You would have to go back and read. You have to go. Why is this music playing? And then go and do external research in order to figure it out, Mike.
For fans of
Mike,
those franchises,
Mike, you
there
just
is
hurt his argument.
there's an
legitimately.
expectation.
Mike.
But I'm not a
No,
fan.
can
I'm
I-
just a random rank and file dude, and I'm
DA,
wondering why
DA,
is this music
DA,
playing?
DA, chill out, Mike. I'm about to argue against you guys.
Really?
He's arguing against himself, and he's gonna win.
See,
Neither side is gonna lose because they're both him.
the problem with your thing, Mike, is that the music that played in Sonic did not play for Sonic, nor did Sonic play it himself. It was just music for the audience. This is Quill's music.
No. Sonic put a cassette in the tape player and played it.
No. I'm talking about in the games. In the games, Sonic musically never played anything. It was just the music for the audience. So you can't go. There's a
You can still
precedence of
associate a
music for
type of
Sonic.
music with a character, though.
Yes, it's associated, but it's not the type of music.
It's not
that
the
Sonic-
character's music.
Yeah,
I
it's not
would-
a Sonic character's music because he never had music. That's just music for us.
Yeah, Sonic has never
I
controlled
disagree
the
with
music
that.
of
I
his
think
world.
music that are in the media in some way, shape, or form, whether it be shown through imagery or actually played in the media, I can associate music, a type of music with a
Okay,
character.
you can associate it with the games, but you shouldn't associate it with the character
I-
because the character himself is not playing it. He's not doing anything with that music.
No,
Do characters
BG's
not
got
have
a
character
point.
themes?
Yes, yes. I'm sure Sonic does have a character theme, and
He's
I'm
had
sure you
many
can
character
associate that with.
themes in many different games, and they all
But I'm
have a
also
particular
saying,
sound.
but I'm also saying, Sonic is not playing that music. Unlike Quill, who is playing that music, you shouldn't associate the Guardians off rip with '80s music. You should associate Quill, the leader of the Guardians, with '80s music, because he's the one playing it. He's the
Yep.
one getting them into it, and then eventually they start all together joining in on that stuff and enjoying the music.
There's a canonical line of thought you can follow when it comes to Quill's music. Sonic has no control over what plays. It's just fan service for the music.
So you can't just say, "Oh, Gangsta's Paradise isn't in Sonic's wheelhouse," because Sonic has no wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, BG's technically right.
BTFO.
I don't really agree with that.
It doesn't sit well with you, Mike, because you associate the music with the character third party.
Sonic has very techno-y music.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
techno. I wouldn't say not tech.
No. Fuck the type of music, because Sonic has a bunch of ways of getting the same sound going. But what BG's getting across is it's easy to see how in Guardians Quill represents that style of Earth's music culture because he controls it, and so having that be a prevalent theme in Guardians works. Sonic has no control over his world, so while again it's hard for you to separate the music from the world because that's kind of just how you do things, the fact is he's got a point. You can't expect Sonic to have a select track he's going to throw down and have everyone be like, oh, that makes sense. It wouldn't work.
I disagree with that. When you think modern Sonic, the first thing in music, the first thing that comes to mind is Crush 40.
Not for me.
Not for me.
I have no idea what the
Sonic
fuck that
X
is.
theme.
I don't know what the fuck that is. The only thing I know is Sonic Boom.
I know Sonic X. That's the first thing.
Oh yeah, gotta go fast. Yeah. You're
To
right.
me, it's Live
To
and
you-
Learn.
But that's the thing. What BG said is spot on just by that sentence alone. With Quill, there is literally one line when it comes to his music. He's an 80s child
no way
out
to
of place.
interpret what he's playing or doing.
Yeah, Sonic. There's so much going on throughout time. He really does, and none of it is under his control. And it's not prevalent to his story. If you read a Sonic comic, there's no music playing, and there's no stylized music thematic that's outlined via the comic.
Depends on what comic you're reading.
Again,
he's been in a
if
rock
it's
band.
not throughout everything, Mike, it doesn't have prevalence. Quill is for everything. That's him. That's who his character is. So that's why it makes sense. So yeah, your argument really doesn't work, and you're just kind of going at this in like a selfish, self-interest type way.
I wouldn't call
You're
it
saying
selfish.
because I am used
I
to
wouldn't
this,
say
it
it's
should be.
I would
there's a better word for
argue
it.
that
Yes,
most
bro.
people that are fans of Sonic would associate the music, just because the music in Sonic has been one of the consistent good points about Sonic. Because let's be honest, I would say 60 to 80% of the Sonic games are pieces of shit.
That number's too low.
Classic Sonic games are good, but the music has been a consistent throughput of Sonic games. It has been consistently good. You ask anyone who's been a fan of Sonic games through and through the good games and the bad games, the first thing that they will say is the music is amazing. So the fact that these
I
people are
don't-
making a Sonic movie,
Hashtag Gangsta's Paradise is amazing.
no. The
It's
fact that these people are
what-
making a Sonic
what?
movie and they didn't even try and factor that in, apparently, is a big
Can't
problem.
tell. Can't tell. This could be trailer music, which would be awful.
This
It'd
could
be
just
like-
be corporate people. They could have just shipped out the trailer like they did with a Suicide Squad and just sent it to a trailer house and said, "Here's some footage, make a trailer." We don't know. We can't speak to the mindset of these people, Mike.
Yeah.
Dang it!
What?
Yeah, it was right
Yeah, right.
about the whole. Don't argue.
Mm-hmm.
I still think music bad choice though. If
You can say
Sega
music
really
is a bad
had
choice.
tried to have a hand in this, then why
You can
choose
say-
this song?
You could say the music is a bad choice for the trailers because trailers have had bad music choices before. I mean, there was a Nickelback Batman trailer.
Yep.
But that song never played once in that movie.
Truth. It does not inspire hope for the music.
I can understand that aspect of it, but we don't know how it plays out. Like I said, it could just be a song trailer.
Oh, I actually was. So, the thing I was trying to do before we got into this whole discussion. So, this is a picture that I shared amongst our group of the Sonic screaming scene, the meow scene, where someone painted over Sonic in his traditional style versus what he actually looks like in this movie. Ugh.
Yeah, looks fine.
No.
No, it doesn't.
That's
That
fine.
Sonic
That's fine
does
that you
not
think
look
so.
good.
There is a... I'm going to post this in our chat as well as to you guys. IGN made a post where they put Sonic's teeth on other video game characters. So the first picture is of Kirby. The funny thing is, the other video game characters look better with his teeth.
Yeah.
It's really... it's terrible.
The one from Little Big Planet actually looks like it's meant to be.
Well, and then like Pac-Man. Pac-Man looks fine. Diddy almost looks too perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, their teeth. Who cares?
They're human
People are
teeth.
being a little too pedantic about this. Because if it was just the one line of teeth, people would be like, why are the teeth like that? If he had no teeth, people would be like, why doesn't he have teeth? There's no winning. People going into this going,
There is winning.
problems.
Having a good in design.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. That probably would have helped.
Yeah.
Like I said, design looks, it's whatever.
You can't go whatever there and then go Pokemon hashtag too fuzzy.
Furry, I believe.
It don't matter.
I think it matters. There might be a difference between
I think your character and yourself are melding together.
where does one start at the other end?
You can't honestly believe this.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if that was sincere. Yeah, see, but my biggest thing is people go random screenshots like that. That random screenshot looks bad. In motion, I think he looks fine.
I mean, a lot of things are covered up in motion.
Mhm.
Especially,
Well,
Sonic's
not covered up, but improved.
Sonic's fast motion is definitely. But when you just look at his design, it's not good.
It's not great.
It's not even not great. It's not good.
It's not particularly good.
It's very ungood.
I would call it not good at all.
And you're going, yeah, but the Pokemon have a lot of fur.
Mm-hmm. And they're sometimes over designed and sometimes under designed.
But look at him.
Yeah.
Vastly over designed.
Mhm. But I don't get. It's just a reaction that I have.
And I
that
don't
I'm not having it with the Pokemon.
I don't understand
with the Sonic.
I don't understand why.
I can't explain why. It just doesn't look right to me. What? You
I got nothing.
come into my mind and try to
I'd
see
rather
what's
not.
going up in there?
So,
Yeah, you don't wanna see it now.
those are paths that we don't want to forge.
Big don't.
So, like, do you say you have more of a connection with the Pokemon franchise than the Sonic franchise?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
I played way more Pokemon. I like Pokemon a lot more. I played maybe 3 Sonic games.
okay, so just in general, like, if someone does something Pokemon versus someone does something Sonic, you're going to look at the Pokemon one with more scrutiny because you care more about it.
I don't think so. Because the MLP designs in the movie, they went to a different style, and I didn't love the style, but I was still like, it's fine. There were some problems that you could have with it, but it was still just like, there are problems, but it's fine. It's not an attachment thing, because if they showed a Gyarados, I'd be like, this is the greatest movie of all time. But they showed a Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur is my second favorite Pokemon. I'm still just like, Bulbasaur looks fine. Everybody else looks like crap.
I don't get it.
He doesn't get it.
I was.
So it's impossible to argue when you
I
yourself
kind
don't
of get it.
That's
I
terrible.
kind of get
It's
it.
your own opinion, and you go, I kind of get it.
Yeah, sure.
Have you guys seen? I saw it circulating recently. I guess within the last year, there was a commercial for Progressive Insurance that had Sonic the Hedgehog in it as his normal
Yes, I do
design,
remember
just
that.
talking to them, and he looks
I do
fine.
remember that.
It's like, why couldn't they do
When
that?
the creator is going, Duff,
He didn't go Duff.
you know it's a problem.
He didn't go Duff. He's Japanese. He would never say that.
Nani?
He either went Nani and then just the camera zoomed in really tight on his face, or he just was very polite about it and just
Nani desu ka?
Jesus Christ.
oh.
Fuck you! Yeah. And so, like, as far as my overall opinion on the trailer, too, like, Sans Gangster's Paradise and Sonic in general, I actually am, at the current moment, not a fan of his voice. It sounds fine, but it doesn't
No, I
sound
like it. I
it doesn't
really
sound
like
like
it.
Sonic to me.
I really like it.
Maybe once I get more of it. Like, I like Ben Schwartz, but I'm not sure if he's a good fit for Sonic. We shall see. But everything else I was okay with for the trailer. Again, Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, I'm all for that.
It works.
And I love, like, and I am okay with the idea of him becoming more deranged as he deals with Sonic, to the point of the last shot of the trailer where he actually looks like Robotnik.
That's a good shot.
Which goes to show they seem to have put more care into Dr. Robotnik than they did Sonic.
Yeah.
But with Robotnik, all you have to do is put a ball cap on him, get him some goggles and a mustache, and you're done.
Well, and maybe fatten him
You
up
have
a
to
little
fully
bit.
design a character for Sonic.
No, you don't, because he's had 40 years of designs. You just look at it and go, let's translate that. Not
Easier
you gotta
said than done.
you gotta give him some knees.
The man needs knees.
Also, like, I think I posted this, like, in our chat thing. They didn't even keep him consistent. There are
No.
pictures where his chest color is that peach color, the same as his face, and there's some where it's white. They can't even get their own shit right. Twitter has been amazing, though, with this trailer. One of my, one of my
They've
favorite.
been dumpstering it.
I got sick of it.
One of my favorites was like, it's the shot of where Sonic's like on the road about to run, and it's like a lady bent over. It's just like, what did they do to your ass?
Yeah, it's just muted for a week. I'm sick of it.
Didn't pass the DA meme test.
I did. Some of them were funny, but it was just after a while, it's just 20 in a row. You just go, come on, y'all. Doesn't look that bad.
It does.
It does.
It does.
It doesn't. It's fine.
It's not.
Hashtag it's fine.
No.
I
It's really
I
not.
want to
Hashtag
know how
ungood.
many of you there are out there right now.
There's got to be ones of me.
God, I hope so.
There's people, I've seen people that's going, chill out.
I'd like to meet him, execute him.
Destroy
Well,
them.
half of that for me.
So yeah, obviously there's going to be more trailers. We will see. There, There's even one inconsistency in the trailer that, like, it plot stuff, so it's whatever. But like the fact that Sonic got shot with a tranquilizer dart, and then literally was standing in the middle of like 500 rockets around him, and they were standing still. It's like, there's a little,
No, it's a cute callback to Sonic looking at his watch and looking at the people like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Take it
but
forever to move me.
it's like, why couldn't he dodge?
And also,
the
we
train?
don't know how his speed works. It could be time based.
Yep, we shall see.
Yeah, you're judging the movie before you see it.
I'm judging the trailer and it looks like
Yes.
Well, that's fine, but the time thing that
You suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just
probably, but wait till I'm done with my life to judge me. All right,
No, you can't do
I
enough
think that's
to
only
change
fair.
it.
don't judge a story before it's finished. Jeez.
Seriously, can't wait 2 or 3 months
All right.
because I am out of here.
God don't do it for me. I'm taking matters into my own hands.
Oh my.
I can't see another September.
Oh snap! Where's my phone?
All right. So let's now begin this hour discussion. All right.
Years.
For those that are living underneath a rock, Avengers Endgame. It happened. It's out. This is your only warning. We are
Spoilers, hi.
we are going to be talking about this movie in depth. Spoilers abound. If you've not seen the movie, just stop the podcast here.
Go.
The none of you that are listening, stop the podcast here.
The none of you that are listening.
All right. And spoilers. Ah!
Yeah.
This movie was very good.
Oh.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So we go in sequential order like we usually do? Just go through the plot synopsis?
Yeah.
All right. So, we begin the movie with Tony and Nebula on the...
Wrong.
Yep.
Really?
Already blown up.
Mike Hawkeye.
Shit, yeah. You are correct.
I hate Facebook.
You mean
Bruh!
Stop.
Bruh!
Stop. See, that's why I say things are going too far. People think they can keep improving stuff, but they just make it worse.
That's just these companies with these in design. Nobody's looking for this.
Nobody's looking for a lot of things. Phones are fine
No,
now. We don't
no,
need like
no.
the double screen phones and no bezels.
No,
Chill
I
out.
can see the double screen phone because if you're looking at something and you're huddled all around, you can just go, oh, you can just view it on this side.
Hate it.
I can
I
I
hate
can
it.
understand
I
the
hate it.
logic.
I hate it.
I can understand the logic of that. This Facebook is just dog shit.
oh the which one? The mobile update?
The app, the mobile, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Terrible.
Everything's going
Okay.
super simplistic. All right. So, yes, first, Hawkeye. You are correct. Hawkeye's hanging out with
If
his family.
I did not know what they were going to do to really set up the overall tone of the movie. I don't think there was a better way to do it than the way they did.
Yeah. Like, it's him with his family. He is still under house arrest. He's got the ankle bracelet. Teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow. Going to be passing on the mantle, most likely, to her, the next Hawkeye. And
No, actually not.
really?
And you'd know that if you paid attention to the fact they're making a Hawkeye series. And he's training the next Hawkeye, and it's not his daughter.
It's
Really?
probably Kate Bishop.
Yep.
Okay.
It's what?
It's probably Kate Bishop.
Yep, it's Kate Bishop.
Okay.
And that's on Disney Plus.
Everything.
And it's starring Jason Renner.
They're gonna
Everything.
get me. You know what? No, they don't get me until I see Recess and Pepper Ann.
You know, they're opening the Disney vault for that. They may open the Fox vault for that.
Watch the last episode, you coward.
I will when it's on
Coward.
Disney Plus.
So they're having a picnic, and Clint turns around, basically says something to his wife. He turns back to his daughter, and all that's left is some remnants of ash. Looks for her, turns back to the rest of his family. They're all gone. They got snapped. And it's just him looking around his yard, looking for them. And then
Endgame.
the Marvel logo comes up. And then we get to Tony and
Yeah.
Nebula in space.
Can I talk about that for real?
Sure.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I like that scene, but I have a problem with that and 2 other scenes where it's just narrative conveniences that always bother me. All of them are snapped except for him.
But it's possible.
It's possible. Steve turning the corner, going right into Peggy's office, and Tony Stark's dad talking to him for all that time. not like wondering why he's in this place and hugging him at the end. And
But
it's
his
just
dad
like
didn't hug him.
the one person that he meets is his dad, and he goes right into Peggy's office. Narrative conveniences like that always just. I understand it doesn't really affect the plot so much, but
the Russo brothers themselves said that the movie would have blatant fan service in it, and that's I knew that was 100%. Coming. Yeah,
but
I kind of just expected it to be like that blatant.
I think that I don't know what was the purpose of him talking to his dad though, other than him just getting sort of closure with his father.
It was just the closure because he got to talk about his daughter with his dad.
They could have done a Kakashi thing where they're in the afterlife, like, have a seat, son. I've been waiting.
They could have.
That would have been the worst thing imaginable.
Yeah, this way was infinitely easier. Tony had anonymity, and he could just interact with his dad on a man-to-man basis without anything in between. It works. Sure, again, it's super like coincidental and it's forced, but it really did work. So I can easily forgive that.
But small things like that just make me, for a second, just...
Oh, yeah, no, I get that. But again, if it wasn't done as well as it was, sure, there'd be a problem. But it was done perfectly.
So then we get to Tony and Nebula on the Guardian ship. They are...
Oh, stop. Another thing I had to talk about. Yeah. I was spoiled about 3 things in this movie.
Oh, no.
The lawyer, there's a lawyer who's handling the Vic Mignogna case, and he talks about entertaining stuff, very informative. But he reads super chats, and he just mistakenly just read out 3 spoilers, and they were Tony dies, Old Man Steve, Falcon is the new Cap. I got those 3 spoilers the day before we saw the movie.
Yikes!
So this whole thing, I'm just like, this is gonna play at his funeral. One of these recordings is gonna play at his funeral. That's the whole thing I was thinking during the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that too. Everybody knew Tony was gonna die. I just didn't expect,
because it was still a toss-up between him and Cap. You
True.
can't say everybody knew, because
right.
If I had not seen that, I would have been like, Cap is led. Because when he stands up in front of the army, like, let's go. I'm like, Cap, you monster! You absolute monster! I love Cap. Cap's the best.
Cap was great.
I love that scene. His shield is stuff. He is by himself. Army coming. He stands up and he starts walking. I love that.
That was almost like
that wide shot.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That was like Battle of the Bastards, Jon Snow, though. Like that was almost ripped directly from Game of Thrones.
So yeah,
I was a monkey in the audience, just like, yeah, I'd have been cheering my head off. Oh man, but I'm like, I don't want to disturb him. But I would have been like, yeah! Just, chimping out in that mug.
See, if you had been quote unquote chimping out, you might have missed the on your left, which to me was the best part. Like Cap standing up was great. I loved the on your left.
Nope, that Cap standing up is literally the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So amazing.
Stands up, puts the shield on his slashed up arm.
And he's just like, let's go.
Legs
pierced.
Go. And he walked
by himself. No shield.
Thanos just took out Cap with Mjolnir and a fully functional shield. And he goes, well, just gotta keep doing it.
With Iron Man. And now he has an army. He's just like, well, time to die. But I'm going to take at least 2 of y'all with me. Love that part.
That's the best.
Cap the best.
So,
head and shoulders.
Okay, hold on.
Don't at me.
Before we go on a cap of the entire movie, because this is going to be a while, what was the most hype part for you?
Mjolnir.
Was it that and Mjolnir? BG?
That Mjolnir.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because it wasn't even that he picked up Mjolnir. I expected that. It's how he used it with his shield.
Yep, exactly. Yes. Okay, Mike?
Mjolnir. There's something else that I'm missing.
I wish he would have screamed the symbol instead of whispered it.
That was good.
The
music
assemble
cut
was
out
good.
right at that moment. It's like, you say it, Cap. You say it. Now is the time. Say it.
Mike?
When Marvel appears and destroys the Dreadnought. Mjolnir.
Okay. See, mine is Mjolnir, but not when Cap got it. I loved that part. What overshadowed it to me was Thor's reaction.
So I went back recently. I've been rewatching a bunch of the older Marvel movies, and I rewatched Age of Ultron. And like, there are two prevailing theories for Cap finally being able to wield it. There's one where, since he was still holding on to the information that Bucky killed his Stark's dad, that at that time he was almost worthy, but not. So then in Civil War, when he actually revealed it, he let it out to Stark, he became worthy. The other one was that he faked not being able to pick it up. And I kind of think that's the case, because in the scene, he grabs it, he lifts it slightly, but then like it looks like he puts it back down and readjusts, and then he tries to pull it again. So I think he like lifted it up a little bit. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can do it," but then faked it to not try and hurt feelings or prove, just like trying to be macho to everybody else. He just wanted to prove it to himself, and he's like, "Okay, I have that in my head." Because like,
I believe the latter of Cap, to be honest.
he seemed to like in Endgame, he just picks it up. There was like,
he knew.
Like he
Oh,
knew
he didn't even
could wield
question it. Oh yeah, there wasn't a question in his
Or that
mind.
could have just been a desperation thing. Like,
It's here.
it's here. Let's try it. I moved
Maybe.
it last time. It could work.
Yeah.
He used it so
It
quick.
just like
So
I was really
awesome.
paying attention to the scene,
He knew what to do. I love.
and
that
after
so
he
much.
lifted,
Oh my
like,
god! So the reverb thing happened in the first Avengers. That's
Yep.
how he knew how to do it.
Yep.
He knew the hammer was gonna reverb when it hit his shield.
they
Yep.
did it.
All makes sense.
They did it in
Yep.
Age of Ultron as well, like intentionally.
He is the greatest.
He's a soldier. He realized what he had to do.
Are you
He did it
Stark
good.
Moles?
Go flush yourselves. You're done.
Literally.
I was
Not
done
done
with
for-
Stark like 3 movies ago.
There's nothing left for you. Cap
Oh,
the
oh.
best. Superman the best.
Tony got his out. I'm okay with how it goes for Tony. Tony
Yeah.
did good.
All right.
People are crying because Tony should have got a happy ending. No, he got a happy
No,
ending.
no. To be honest, we knew Tony wasn't going to get a quote unquote happy ending. Because his story started with him as a redemption arc. This was how it was always going to end for him. I'm happy with it.
So yeah,
Perfectly happy.
I am too. So trapped in space, oxygen's about to run out. He records a message to Pepper.
Not oxygen. It was food.
No,
They were out of
oxygen.
No. You say oxygen runs out tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay.
So, he records his message. You kind of show Nebula seemingly warming up. I do love the line. It's just like, it's like very pragmatic, only slightly psychotic.
2 things about that. Number 1, does Nebula eat?
No, she has a mechanical torso.
Then
She
why
doesn't
did
have-
Tony offer?
He might
Probably
be.
be nice.
Yeah, they should have communicated that. Second thing, when she picked him up and just rubbed his shoulder, I'm like, okay, she's about to like take out her arm and her heart and her chest to like fuel the entire ship. I'm like, okay, she's about to die here. And then I don't know why they did that, because they sort of lingered on her, sort of like petting him.
To show that she's warming up to the Avengers
People.
and the peoples.
Yeah.
But they kind of already showed that with Guardians 2.
No, she warmed up to her. So
Yeah, this was more quote unquote humanity from her.
Yeah.
Before it was just her accepting others. Now she was caring.
But I got enough of that from the football scene.
I think this was just a capstone of it, to be honest.
That seemed like it was going somewhere else. That's just what
I didn't get it from that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
100% I did, because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm wrong in thinking that.
I think it is.
But yeah, then as
Bad opinions, man.
as Tony is
Bald man bad.
As Tony is seemingly drifting off into his final sleep, Captain Marvel comes and saves them. See, they didn't show the scene in this, but basically the idea is that the post-credit scene of Captain Marvel happens. She arrives on Earth. Cap and Black Widow are like, Stark's out there somewhere. Go find him. She goes and finds him, brings him back. He's like heavily emaciated. He's
yeah.
I don't know what they did. I don't know if that was CGI. I don't know
CG.
if he fasted.
It was CG.
That looked really, really good.
Yeah.
His neck was just shocking. It was
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
So then
And
they
that was a great active scene as well, where he's just fumbling around and
just
Okay.
irate.
I didn't get to it. That scene was one of my favorites. Him laying into Cap like that was amazing. Not because it was Tony v. Cap.
Don't yell at Cap.
No,
You
it
gotta
wasn't
hurt his feelings.
That's what I loved. Is that it
No.
was just such a good scene. The moment Tony said, "I lost the kid," and Cap's face, both sides of that like quote unquote fight was outstanding. Because you could see the guilt in Cap and the shame in Tony. It was amazing.
and
I was
But yeah,
just
the back
perfect.
and forth of just I wanted a suit of armor around the world. But it's like we do things after the fact. We're the Avengers, not the
Precious
pre-Vengers.
Freedoms.
Yep.
And just
I like the mocking precious freedoms.
yeah.
You
And-
repeated on our precious freedoms.
Yeah. And just him just going irate and then passing out just because he's so malnourished. And then
Also,
Go ahead.
where he just goes, if you find Thanos, put this on him, and he rips out his chest thing. What was? I never understood that.
he said put it on like and hide. Basically it's like put on some armor and just cower.
Yeah.
A suit of armor around Cap.
Yeah.
I was expecting that to come back.
Oh, where it's like
I would've-
Tony
I would've
gets an
liked
Iron Man suit.
arm and a mule and shield. That'd be great.
Cap can't have it all.
Yes, he can. He deserves it.
Is he gonna get Hawkeye's bow too?
Sure.
Jesus.
And one leg is the Black Panther.
Like Triple H with the title.
So once like that conversation happens, they find out where Thanos is. Captain Marvel, it's just like I'll be
Can I
back
just
with
say,
a lot of elixir. Go ahead. What?
I hate movie Captain Marvel. Keep going.
Really?
Yeah, hater.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's rubbing me the wrong. She seems a little
Really?
bit too much, too good, too weird. It's everything. She's just kind of perfect. It's weird.
Don't even care about that. Do not
Then what is it?
I care all the ball licking everybody else does. They're trying so hard to get her over with audiences, and it's pissing me off. Thor going, I like this one. When he was all pissed off through the whole thing, there's no reason for it. When she comes and kills that giant thing at the final battle, and Rocket's just like, yeah, I don't need it.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay, so you don't like the way they're hyping her.
I don't like how everybody's ball.
I don't like her just being too good.
No,
It's not a. It's kind of. It's like with the end with the Peter thing. Like, hey Peter, you got something for me? Every line is kind of like delivered like that, kind of snarky, but not in a charismatic way like Tony. It's weird.
Well, I
can
think.
see it.
I mean, I was gonna say, isn't that the character, BG?
Mm,
She's pretty blunt.
And look how much she's in the poster relative to how much she's in the movie.
it really, really, really depends on the iteration.
I mean,
Okay.
Banner's not in it at all, but he's still
She was a fucking douchebag in Ultimate Marvel,
Okay.
and she was ruined in Civil War 2.
That's what I keep hearing.
Huh.
Said Civil War
No one
II
has
was
to comment.
her v Iron Man.
She, whatever.
Anyways,
She's supposed to lead the next Avengers, so we'll see. I hope I warm up to her. I shouldn't need to because it's Captain in Marvel. But what are you gonna do?
mm-hmm.
Bring on Miss Marvel. Thank you.
So she's like, I'm gonna go kill Thanos, and then they have a discussion. Basically, they find out he used the stones again 2 days prior, and they found out the planet that he's on. And basically go to the planet. They find him there. He's alone. They he's seemingly living peacefully.
It's soup. He's just an old, just rundown dude, just looking, just picking up these weird pineapple fruits, and just I'm like, oh man, I like old farmer Thanos. He just sits down and just quietly starts making soup. I'm like, I want this. This just seems kind of fun to watch.
Destroyer of the universe, just quietly making some soup.
Yes,
half broken.
Yes.
If I did my job,
yeah, like I'm hungry, I need to eat, and this looks pretty good. Throw this in a pot, baby. You got a spooce going.
It is the garden. Plenty of plants. So
I just wanted to see that a little bit more.
So they ambush him, fuck him up, chop his arm off. They check the gauntlet. Stones are gone. I loved his lines. It's like the universe required balance, and once the stones, once done, the stones were nothing to me beyond temptation. I used the stones to destroy the stones. So yeah, the stones in the current timeline are gone. He reduced them to atoms, which I liked that line because. Like there's a whole thing later in the movie that said like if you remove the stones from a timeline, the timeline gets fucked up. He didn't like actually make them disappear. They're just atoms now.
Yeah.
In the universe. Dust. And they like first they don't believe him, but then Nebula is just like, my father's many things, not a liar, and he seems to have like a heartfelt remorse for his daughter. And then Thanos chops his fucking head off. Or Thor chops his fucking head off. Yeah.
He's also just really broken. So it's not even like a good victory that they got. No. He doesn't have the stones. He just messed up. And then he just cut off his head. Like, he didn't deserve that. He wasn't a threat. Revenge. Oh, shut up, Thor. I'm like, just hermit Thanos. Leave him there.
I love that Thanos. I love that Thor. Cap remains the best.
So then it goes to 5 years later. I also loved how they fucking stressed it. 5. Like months? Days? Years.
Years. Hard time jump.
Later. Just showing how like
this.
How
everybody thought they were gonna go back and fix it to where it wasn't 5 years later. Nope.
Yeah, I definitely respected the fact
did all their mourning and they got their family members back, and people just 5 years older.
People just 5 years older. People going to school like writing 2019, just crossing it out sadly. Years ago, I can't. My checks are outdated. I gotta get some more.
Just the shots of like of New York with like all the people that were just like living on Ellis Island, the like Yankee Stadium or the Met Stadium, just empty. Decrepit.
No, that was Citi Field. That was Met Stadium.
I don't fucking know.
Who cares?
And then the scene with Cap like being a like counselor basically for people that are struggling to cope even 5 years later. Which, fun fact, the dude who was just like, I went on a date with the guy, that was one of the Russo brothers. It was one of the directors.
It wasn't very fun. It's more informative. People don't hand you a book and go fun book. No.
Yeah, they do. Books are fun.
A history book. Yeah, lower them eyebrows. No fun here.
But like the scene, you can really see Cap struggling to like be optimistic. He's just not
be
feeling
Captain America.
Be the best.
So we have to move on. We have
only
to move
thing
on.
I don't like about that scene is there's a scene in one of the trailers where Cap's jaw moves like left to right, like Sandow's did, and
Yeah.
it's not in the movie. And I was just wanted him to be so pissed, solid and mad, and then just deliver this rousing speech. Can't have it all.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see any of it. Been meaning to go back.
I was about to say. I thought I would assume you would have.
Yeah, I usually go back and see because
I
there's
want
some
to see if I
things
can find
changed.
that. They
Yeah,
changed
I
basically
looked up
everything.
later. There were some things changed. Thor was just completely, hey, I'm Thor in the movie.
Oh, you thought?
Let's just film some fake scenes, wink, wink.
Then we cut to this random garage in San Francisco where the true hero of the movie, the rat.
That was a giant rat, and I couldn't watch it.
Brings
That's the average
I'd
size of
rather
a New York
remain
rat.
snapped than be saved by a rat.
brings back Scott Lang from the quantum realm, where he comes back. For him, it had been 5 hours. 5 years have passed. He basically gets his bearings in the world. He finds this memorial of the people that vanished. Was looking for his daughter's name to make sure that she was alive. Found his name. Goes and finds his daughter. She's aged 15 years. She's basically like
5 years,
I'm
Mike.
sorry. She's like 10 to 12 in like the last movie, so she's probably like somewhere between 16 and 18.
Nah, she's 26 in this movie. It's fine. Don't think about it.
That actress is actually 18 years old.
She don't look like
I
it.
know. I know. But she was like the correct age basically. But yeah, they have like a reconnect, and then we cut to the Avengers compound where Black Widow is talking with Captain Marvel. I always forget her name, but the honor guard from Black Panther, Oyoki,
Something like that.
something like that.
Something
Rocket,
like that.
Nebula, and Rhodey. And just how Black Widow is just overly paranoid even 5 years later, just like, well, what was the seismic activity? Like, are we checking the seismic activity underwater? It's like, it was in the middle of the ocean. We check it by not checking it.
Yep.
There's nothing going on.
Not our problem.
We ain't got shit happening here.
Yeah. Captain Marvel was like, this happened all across the universe. I'm dealing with it all across the universe. I can't deal with Earth. They have you. Which actually, that was one of the lines from earlier in the thing that I actually liked, where they ask her, like, where the hell has she been? And she's like, there are a lot of planets out there, and unfortunately, they don't have you. And she, like, said it in a positive light. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I also love Black Widow's hair, especially when it was braided.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
agreed.
hair was amazing. I love it.
Agreed.
So they give, like, all their things. Also, Rocket has his outfit from the comics with the scarf. Awesome.
Yes, Rocket scarf. Oh, it was so cool.
Was that an intentional cough or a random cough?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
That's a very BG thing for you to do. And BG, he knows how to feel. Where he just he did this at Shazam. Oh, look, it's such and such person, to the point where I just kept doing it. And every little thing, just a building would show up, like, oh, look, and
He's trying to kill my hype. Like,
that was funny.
when they said the name Mary, I was like, Mary Marvel.
And then when the Superman dad came up,
But,
Dude's dad was Lex Luthor's dad in Smallville.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look! And I was just, we're gonna try to put an end to this today.
Let me get my hype.
You can get your hype, but not at my expense.
You're just in the vicinity.
Don't do your hype at me.
It's not spewing at you. You're in the vicinity.
But
Haters.
Rhodey stays on the line after everyone else hangs up and tells Natasha that
Your friend is a piece of shit.
Barton has been on a fucking murder spree, just
He
full
out
on
here.
Punisher vigilante style, just gunning down cartels and criminals abound.
Which, bruh, it's a fantastic arc for him.
Yes.
It makes
Oh, yeah.
so much sense. All these good people died. Y'all survive and y'all want to kill and murder and deal drugs and all that. Nah. No.
That was really.
Yeah.
I think
They got Thanos. You get me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
so good.
she asked Rhodey to find out where he's going next, and then Cap shows up, and they have a fun conversation.
Oh yeah. Before that, people are already trying to shoehorn in references to X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Ugh.
So they're like, earthquakes under the water? Could it be Atlantis and Namor? Shut up.
Yeah. No.
Nobody's thinking about the submarine.
This movie was
Nobody
made
near
before
it.
that deal was closed. There'd be no way in hell
Well,
there was anything added.
Namor
for
is
that.
actually under Universal anyway. He's not under
Good.
Fox.
Black Panther, not Black Panther, Black Widow just sadly making a PB&J. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
She ain't got nothing to do.
Oh yeah, just the whole thing where it's just like, saw some whales in the bay, less ships, cleaner waters. It's like, if you're seriously trying to make me look at the bright side, I'm gonna throw a peanut butter sandwich at you. But yeah, just their good discussion of, I keep telling people to look positive and move on, but we can't. And then Ant-Man arrives, vaguely gives a description of quantum time travel. So I love the whole conversation is that a peanut butter sandwich? I'm starving. And basically gives them a little hope. So they then say, okay, we need to visit someone who could figure this out. So they go and visit Stark, who is living
Tony's just like, nah, fam.
He's living in a lakeside cabin, middle of nowhere. For Tony, a meager lifestyle. The house is still pretty freaking big.
Yeah.
And you find out
Tony is living his best life.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had a kid. He has a 5-year-old daughter. Morgan H. Stark. She is that little girl. Solid.
Oh, yeah.
She's so spunky.
She's really good, but there were some lines that were a little difficult to understand. But she's a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I loved the whole
I can
thing
tell
with
you, she had a nervous take.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a freaking billion-dollar movie week, day 3. Of course, everybody's gonna see you. Don't be nervous and action.
She got nervous. She played with her hair or her clothes like a lot.
Yeah.
But like my favorite scene of hers though is when Tony figures out time travel, which we'll get to. But and just like, you need to go to bed. Why? Because I got some important shit that I'm working on. She just gives him the look. That look was just like melted my heart. It's like such a little snarky look. I'm just like, okay, like this is a child of Tony Stark. But Cap, Black Widow, and Ant-Man arrive. Explain what they want to do to him. And the whole scene of okay, we need to make sure that we follow the rules of time travel. No betting on sporting events and no talking to your past self. Well, I'm gonna stop you right there. Are you basing this entire plan off of Back to the Future? No, good, because that would be stupid.
I loved that dialogue.
And just it's like, we have a chance to save them, and you're just gonna tell me no? Yes, Scott, I'm going to tell you no.
I'm gonna say no to your, what are we calling this, a time heist?
Yeah.
And I also love too, like, he was like dead adamant, but like it had been 5 years, tensions had cooled, and just like, I'm honestly really happy to see you all guys. If you don't want to talk shop, there's a table set for 6.
Yep. I loved every second of that conversation.
Mommy told me to come save you. I'm saved. So then, obviously, Tony says no. They are like, okay, we still want to do this right. We need a bigger brain. Who are we going to talk to? And then we get Professor Hulk.
My favorite character in the movie,
Really?
hands down.
That was good. That was amazing.
Love.
Not my favorite, but that was amazing.
Because
Him in the diner, I couldn't.
they were going one of
Again, Ant-Man the best though.
Eh.
No. That entire him in his giant outfit, him with all that food in front of him, the interactions with the kid, that dumb dab that he does.
Hulk
Death.
out.
I
Listen to your mother, kid. She knows best.
love Hulk.
But again, Ant-Man going, I'm Ant-Man. You want a picture with me? Look at him. He's saying no. He doesn't want the picture. Just take the phone.
Just take the damn phone.
Later, when it's just like, were you joking? Look, we don't know what's gonna happen. Either it's all a joke or none of it's a joke. We're good.
So yeah, they convince Hulk to Hulk Banner Professor. I'm gonna just call him Professor Hulk because
Professor Hulk.
that's
Yeah.
what he's based off of. So they get him, like, convince him to try and do the time travel stuff. Cut back to Tony. He figures out time travel, has the scene with his daughter.
Casually.
Yeah, just casual.
This-
Yeah, try this. If it doesn't work, it's fine. Works.
Just falls into his chair. Shit! Shit!
That scene was glorious.
I was like, that's important. Get juice pops? That's exactly what. This is extortion. And just the whole scene, like, I love you 3,000.
yeah.
3,000. Go to bed or I'm going to sell all your toys. Then he has his conversation with Pepper, which I didn't realize the bigger significance of the lines that were said until my second viewing.
It took you that many times.
Just because I didn't, like, I knew the end line after, like the end line, the last line that Pepper says to Tony.
You can rest.
You can rest. Like, that
Mike,
line
I
just,
literally talked about that the moment I left the theater. How did it take you a second viewing?
because I didn't.
Well, you're a lot more attached to the whole Tony thing.
I guess.
Yeah. And so they go through, and I just like, figured out time travel. So he, like, has this whole conversation. I love the Tony trying to get you to stop is one of the few failures of my entire life.
Yeah.
But then he's like, I could just, box it up, throw it in the middle of the lake, and go to sleep. And then Pepper responds with, but would you be able to rest? And I didn't understand the significance of that line until my second watch. So then we cut to them trying time travel for the first time, I believe.
Yeah.
And,
Whew.
Ant-Man the best.
Ant-Man fine.
All right, I pissed myself. I don't know if that was young me or old me.
Just me.
or
just
that was
me.
just me.
Yeah, they do a bunch of time travel experiments. They fail miserably. Cap steps outside. Car speeds up. I love how, just for emphasis, he, like, drives right in front of Cap. Backs up slightly.
Yep.
Let me guess. He turned into a baby, among other things. He comes back. He gives Cap his shield back. And then they go, so he gives his shield back. He's like, I didn't bring anything else for the rest of the team. There is still a team, right? They're like, okay, we're working on that. They get Banner and Rocket to go to New Asgard, where we get to see Valkyrie again. And then we get to see Thor.
Second favorite character of the movie.
And
now,
Thor
this
is
is all
amazing.
under the impression that Cap is always number one.
Yes.
But there are other number ones, like One Piece. One Piece is always number one, but then there's other number ones.
I understand that.
So Cap, Hulk, Thor.
And so Thor is just a fat piece of shit now. That's
Fat, drunk.
eating pizza, drinking alcohol, and playing Fortnite. But he's hanging out.
Yelling
Korg
at
survived the
kids.
snap. I'm so happy.
So
Yeah.
good.
Korg is my favorite side character in any Marvel movie.
Also, them playing Fortnite, that was the reason. It was a
Tie-in.
team up. That's why tie-in. That's why Thanos was in Fortnite.
Yeah.
as well.
So that little
Partnership.
kid's back. He's making fun of me. Noob Master.
Noob
69.
Punisher?
Noob Master.
Oh, Noob Master. You're
Noob
right.
Master 69.
New Master 69. This is Thor, God of Thunder.
I will rip off your arms and shove them up your butt. Well, that's right. You cried to your dad. But they just all the little things were just like
He's using Stormbreaker as a beer opener.
we might be able to fix the issue. Oh, the cable box issue? It's like no, the Thanos one, and just the don't you mention that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we don't mention
That's
that
right.
name.
Well, gently grabbing his arm, said,
Yeah.
"Please
Take
take
your-
your hand off me." Just so gentle.
Yeah,
Please
Hulk
take
was
your-
the best.
Please.
Yeah.
and just them trying to convince, and not working, and then Rocket's just like, "There's beer on the ship. What kind?" They get him back.
Which is an underlying thing. It was an excuse for him to get on the ship, but he
Mhm.
actually didn't want
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he was big tearing up.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Rocket was great throughout the entire movie. Can I just say?
Then
Who
was
wasn't great?
really.
True. You're right.
Then I believe next is Japan. Correct?
What was that?
Getting Ronin / Clint.
Yes.
According
correct.
to the Wikipedia, it is.
You are correct.
So you cut to Japan. You see someone just murdering a bunch of Yakuza effortlessly. Then fights with the boss. They got Thanos. You get me. Pretty good fight scene. Then you see it's Clint. Natasha's there. She
Yep.
tells him that there's a way to get your family back, and just don't what? Don't give me hope. I'm sorry I couldn't give it to you sooner. Good scene. We cut back to them making the time machine. Out of the way, Big Lebowski, when Thor walks in. Stark just messing up people's names. We get the test run where Clint goes back a few years to his farm, manages to get a baseball glove, and sees his family. I also like to, because like in a lot of different movies and stuff like that, they'll have a scene like that where it's just like you give the character a glimpse of like redemption or the thing that they're sought after, and it gets taken away from them, and they just like break. But it just
Yeah.
motivated the hell out of them.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot. So then they're trying to figure out where they need to go, basically, timeline wise. Just them figuring things out. Rocket petting Scott Lang's head. It's like, do you want to go to space, little puppy? Is that what you want? And then they figure out that at a certain point in time, 3 of the Infinity Stones were in New York. They then break into 3 teams. One team's going to New York during Avengers 1. One team is going to Asgard during Thor Dark World, and the other team is going to space during Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to get the Power Stone and the Soul Stone. Asgard is the Reality Stone, and then Mind, Space, and Time are in New York.
Yep.
So, I guess we'll just go by, because they kind of intersperse between all these different timelines, so I guess we should just talk about, like, each one separately.
You do the 1, the 2, and then the 3.
Yeah. So we'll start with New York. So
That's the 3, Mike. Do the 1.
I'm out. Sorry, I thought you meant like the order that they were shown in. You mean amount of
No.
stones?
Do the 1 stone, then the 2 stone, then the 3 stone.
Okay. So we'll start with Asgard then.
Mhm.
So Thor and Rocket get sent to Asgard, and they're like, "All right, there's Jane," and they actually got Natalie Portman back. I was impressed because she seemed to not want to do these movies anymore.
They probably paid her a solid amount of money
Probably.
just for that little bit of
Hey,
time.
you want a couple mil to close your eyes and walk in the. Why, yes,
You want a couple mil to nap?
So Rocket's like, all right, here's the plan. You go and woo your old girl. I'll sneak behind her, jab her with this pointy thing. We'll get the reality stone. We'll book it. And then Thor, trying to sneak off to the wine cellar, just starts like mentally breaking. It's like, come over here. I think I'm having a panic attack. It's hard to breathe. Just come over here. Come over here a second. Slaps him in the face. Gives him a pep talk. It's like, are you crying? No. Yes. Then they try to go to, or Rocket starts moving forward, but then
so glad they changed Thor into this.
yes,
Instead of what he was in Thor 1 and 2.
mm-hmm.
Just this melodramatic Jane and all. No. Comedy man Thor. Comedic person Thor.
They had to just go halfway like, hey, Chris Hemsworth is very funny. It's got really good timing. Can we just like do this? And then it works out so fantastically.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was the best like comic relief character they could have done.
And he's
Perfect.
a demigod.
So he ends up booking it and following his mother, because that day is the day that his mom dies. Rocket ends up getting the reality stone and booking it. Thor is trying to sneak up on his mom, but since what is her
It's his
name?
mom.
What is her name? She has
It don't matter.
I don't remember.
It's her-
Since
it's
she's the one who
mom.
taught Loki all of his tricks, she knows like to make duplicates and stuff like that. So she like walks off and then just appears right next to Thor. She immediately realizes that he's not her Thor. And they have
Totally from the future.
yeah, I'm totally from the future. They have a really good conversation of just like I was supposed to be, king. I was supposed to be better than everyone. He's like, well, it's like now you realize you aren't. It's like you're not a fool, but you did fail. But you
don't always have to be who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
The line was, everybody fails at who they're supposed to be.
Yeah, there
No
it
matter
is.
who you are.
Yeah. And then Rocket meets back up with Thor. He tries to warn her about her fate, but she just is like, no. Like, whatever happens, happens. They're about to leave, but then he goes, wait. Holds his hand out, summons Mjolnir, and he's like, I'm still worthy. So they bring
Love
Mjolnir.
that line.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Love that line.
They bring Mjolnir and the Reality Stone back. Then we go to the Guardians world. It's Rhodey, Nebula, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. So Black Widow and Hawkeye go to Vormir, where the Soul Stone is. Which, if you really think about it, if anyone else went, they wouldn't have been able to get the Soul Stone.
Yep.
I doubt it.
Like, maybe Hulk and Black Widow, but that's about it.
I mean, I think Cap
Cap
and
Nat.
I think that would have worked.
Maybe. But
'Cause really,
then
Nat is Cap's only friend
Yeah.
in that universe. In the 5-year span, his only real friend.
yeah. Rhodey and Nebula stay behind to ambush Quill, and then they go off. I loved the opening Guardian scene, and then it cuts to just Quill singing, no music.
Oh,
and
that
just
was beautiful.
looking like goes Rhodey. So he's an idiot. They just
Yeah.
deck him across the face, steal his gear, and then they manage to get the Power Stone. But because Nebula was in that time, her network is still attached to Thanos' network. The past Nebula intercepts some of her memories, and then past Thanos realizes what is going on, and then they manage to kidnap the other Nebula, which that was like one of the plots, kind of a plot hole. But when Nebula realized that she was, getting beamed up, she could have just went back in time. Or forward in time. Returned to her original time.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing. Like, I understand that she was trying to warn the other two. She was trying to warn Black Widow and Hawkeye, but like as soon as she started to get beamed up, it's like, okay, bye-bye. But it's like one of my only gripes with this movie. So yeah, they interrogate Future Nebula. Future Nebula also is just like, hey, Gamora, you don't want to do this. Gamora is there. She's still alive. It's like,
Hooray.
you know what he's planning. Here's what he did to get the Soul Stone in our timeline. Yada, 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 yada. Past Nebula ends up stealing some of the body modifications that Future Nebula has used in order to infiltrate the Avengers. But I will say this. Go ahead.
Two things real quick. Why didn't she go, hey, you're gonna have to sacrifice yourself, bye? She didn't tell them at all that they would have to do that.
Who didn't?
Nebula.
Did she know?
Yeah, because she went to
Well, she just knew that Thanos came back and Gamora didn't. That's all she knew.
Didn't.
She didn't know the specifics.
maybe give a warning.
Well, no, they knew, because remember when they were at like the Red Skull gives his whole spiel, and then Black Widow was just like, Thanos came back with the Soul Stone, and Gamora didn't. So they knew.
Okay, here's a better one. Tony was there when they mind wiped Thanos, and he said he did what he had to do. Why didn't Tony go, Soul Stone might need a sacrifice?
Maybe they knew all along.
It didn't look like they knew.
Tony did not look.
It didn't look like they knew. Well, I can't speak to how Tony looked because you recently saw this totally legally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony didn't look shocked, and that wasn't even the same Nebula, so you can't even say how she looked.
Yeah, I didn't say it because I don't remember at all. But it could have been something like
everybody
that.
else.
Yeah, we expected.
Mm-hmm. But
that's all.
But yeah, so they do that. Clint and Natasha get to Vormir. They meet the Red Skull, which I kind of wish that they somehow would have let Cap know that the Red Skull was there.
Same here.
But
there was no time though. There was no time when they were in the lakeside. I was just like, he could easily just go, yeah, it was just this dude with just this weird red skull, and just in the background, Cap just eyebrows just sort of fluttered just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a full-on comedy reaction because you don't need that because Natasha just died and it's a very, very hopeless moment. But just sort of a little something I wish they would have, but there was literally no time.
Yeah.
What would it do?
It'd just be something. Just like, he's still out there?
Yeah.
I'm not expecting something like that, but just because he got zapped away, and I assume that he knows what the cube does and the teleportation, but
because like a big thing too is now that the Soul Stone was taken, what does he do there now? The
Russo brothers said that he's free to just go,
so he could come back.
But,
Oh,
Red Skull.
oh,
his purpose was guarding. But then again, they took it and just gave it right back. So, but then again, it's
True.
gone in this time.
Let's say in that timeline, Thanos took it, and it's destroyed. So Red Skull's
so
just free.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
He's not a threat or anything, but he's just chilling.
So yeah, he could potentially come back in some future movie. But anyways, he gives the spiel to Clint and Natasha. They have a very good conversation as far as just like, we know who it has to be, but they keep being vague with each other. And then they literally fight each other to try to kill themselves.
Is this where they totally platonically held hands, or was that the first scene that they were?
That was the first
I
scene.
remember them totally platonically holding hands in a totally platonic way. Oh, Natasha and
It's the "Don't Give Me Hope." That was when they held hands.
yeah. Just saying that, totally platonic hand holding between a male and a female, or a female and a female, or a male and a male. Doesn't matter. It could be totally platonic. That's all I'm saying. Continue on your way, Mike.
Ruby.
It's Ruby.
Oh Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus.
So then they and then
that's
a totally platonic, just like the whole head bump thing. Just them basically being as close as you can be platonically to each other. They were best friends. And they both basically don't want the other to sacrifice themselves, so they try and do it. And it goes up to the wire of Clint literally jumps off the cliff. Natasha grabs him, attaches her grapple to him.
This is the second time they've done this with Clint.
Yeah.
Like a slow-mo. Oh, here I go, running to my death. And it's just like, here comes other character, like, no, you don't.
That is true. They did that in Age of Ultron.
Yes.
With Quicksilver. So yeah, Natasha sacrifices herself and Clint gets the Soul Stone. He returns. And then we cut to New York. Cap,
The best of the
Ant-Man, Hulk,
yeah.
and Tony. They basically
And
warp right when
Bruh,
Hulk transforms.
go away. I think it's gratuitous, but whatever. Feel free to smash something if you want. And then it just the best. I think it's gratuitous. He casually rips off his shirt. I think it's gratuitous, but whatever.
Just lazily just smashes a cab and just turns over a car.
Grabs a motorcycle and flings it. Rah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So he then goes
He
to
looks embarrassed when he sees Hulk just
Yeah.
violently smashing things. Just fantastic.
so he goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum and finds the Ancient One. He's like, I'm looking for Doctor Strange, and she's like, you're about 5 years too early, just because of course she looked into the future.
Yeah.
Up until where she could. And she had the time stone on her, so he tries to take it, and she soul pushes him out. And I was hoping, it didn't happen.
Everybody was.
I was hoping that as soon as she did that, Hulk was just gonna get up. And
She's too good for that.
I don't know.
I think we already knew that wasn't going to happen because Banner said that they became one person.
So that's just a problem that she has to deal with.
Yeah.
And
just
then
wouldn't create a problem.
anytime where Hulk just starts going mad and stuff, she can just put Banner back in and it would be resolved.
Yeah. I still think that would have been a cool moment. Because, there's
would've.
precedence in, other comics and other cartoons where that has happened, where Banner has been pushed out of the Hulk, and Hulk is just purely animalistic.
Yeah, one time the Hulk just ripped him out of him.
Yeah.
Ripped him out of himself.
So then she starts having a conversation with him. Then we cut over to Avengers Tower, where they have Loki cornered. Tony and Ant-Man are washing. I just love I have the drink now. All right. We can stand around doing nothing later.
Idle posing all another time.
Yeah.
Can you guys clean up or
And
feel free to clean up?
Okay. Steve, I completely forgot that old outfit did nothing for your ass. Don't worry, Captain America. I think that's great. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Ant-Man, the best.
Just
City.
And then, like, even Loki had a little bit of time to shine here. We're just like, I'm gonna go secure a perimeter. I'm going to go secure a perimeter. Do you honestly hear the way he talks?
Which explains why he had that whole mouth thing on him.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then,
And then, this is something funny. They later on when they're down in the talking to the dude, he's like about to go get lunch and then turn Loki over. So that means Loki was around while they were going out to eat Swarmer. And
Yep.
that's true.
yeah, just standing around or something in the car.
Mhm.
What the
And then we see the Hydra agents come in.
Oh God.
And so they take the scepter, the elevator, where just everyone's getting in. Whoa! Maximum weight capacity. Take the stairs. No! Don't. Hate the stairs. Just him going down. So many stairs. Then Iron Man sees, okay, like Southwest elevator or whatever, and then they literally, so Cap gets on the elevator with the Hydra agents, and they harken back to a recent comic arc that everyone fucking hated.
Hold on. First, the setup was literally almost like the exact same from Winter Soldier when Cap was in the elevator with Rumlow and all the Hydra agents, because they were the same agents.
Yep.
I honestly thought he was gonna say, "Does anybody want to get off?"
I thought he was going to as well, and I know that they wanted us to think like.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. Definitely.
But yeah, so there was a recent arc like a year or two ago in the comic books where Steve Rogers came back from the dead, and then he ends up being a Hydra sleeper agent, and he
was mind wiped by a mutant.
That's what happened. And he utters the line "Hail Hydra," which super negatively reacted to when it first happened, and they harken back to it in this. And
no, that won't be necessary.
Hail Hydra just walks off the elevator with a little smirk on his face. So good. Okay, that was another moment that I think I marked out too as well, like thinking back on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I lost it there.
So they all
dude. In 5 years, Cap just lost so much of his shine. He's just swearing all over the place.
That's true. Like he loosened up in the 5 years.
Wonder how that worked for him when he went back in time.
So Tony and the rest of them get downstairs. Is it Pierce? Secretary Pierce?
Yeah, Secretary Pierce.
Secretary Pierce, the head Hydra dude from Winter Soldier, cuts off Tony and tries to take the Tesseract as well as Loki. They have like a thing, scuffle. Previously, Tony had flicked Ant-Man onto Tony, past Tony. Ant-Man shrinks into Stark's art reactor. That's like that pull my plug.
Yep.
He's like, you're just gonna give me a minor cardiac arrhythmia. Like, that doesn't sound minor. And basically they do that. Past Tony starts going into cardiac arrest. Ant-Man kicks the briefcase to future Tony, and Loki's just like, what? What's going on? Tony grabs it, starts to walk away, but the Hulk finally gets downstairs, crashes through the door, knocks past Tony out. The Tesseract flies right to Loki's feet. He grabs it, bamps out. And then Thor, I'm going to try something. I don't know if this is going to work. Because of a little tap of Mjolnir, and it saves past Tony's life. And then they realize, oh, Loki's gone, and they realize they fucked up. Then Cap
Off to his own TV series.
Yeah, really, that's what it is. So then Cap is like, do you have the Tesseract? What's going on? Oh, shit. He runs into Pass Cap. They have an awesome fight scene.
Amazing.
Pass Cap,
Mhm.
I could do this all day. Yeah, I know.
Perfect.
And then, so they keep fighting. They fall. He has the locket. He's like, how did you get this? What does he respond with?
Nothing. He tried to grab the scepter.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
goes and grab the scepter. Pass Cap gets him in a headlock, and then goes, Bucky is alive. It's like, what? Decks him in the face, grabs the scepter, and then mind controls him to knock him unconscious. Grabs the scepter, gets up, looks at himself, looks at his own ass. That is America's ass.
Fantastic. But that had to be a sort of call out to the Martha moment.
Probably.
Yeah, in a way. So
'Cause
they
it was very, very similar, but just better.
Yeah. So we cut back to the Hulk, or Banner, I should say, Spirit Banner. He's talking with the Ancient One. She explains how the whole time divergence works with the Infinity Stones, where the Infinity Stones are what create the flow of time, and if you take one out, it creates a divergent timeline, and will basically fuck up that timeline's future. So then he explains that, but we will return these stones exactly at the moment that they were taken, so that way the timeline is restored. And she is hesitant just because they have to succeed in order for her to get the stone back, and she doesn't want to bet her timeline's future on that chance. And then he reveals that Strange gave away the stone willingly, and she was taken aback by that. It's like, he gave it willingly? Yeah. Well, that's not right.
That's a little off.
Yeah. It's like there must be some mistake. It's like, no. Or no. Oh, I don't. She's like that can't be right. I don't know. Maybe he made a mistake, or maybe I did. She's like doubting. Like, oh, did I pick the wrong successor?
No, I think that was her going, maybe I did, as in maybe she made the mistake of trying to deny him the stone.
That's
okay.
what I was thinking as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives the stone, and she's like, Strange is meant to be the best of us.
So if he did it, must be a reason.
Yeah, there must be a reason. So Hulk gets the stone, goes back. Cap meets up with Tony and Ant-Man, and
Fantastic exchange between Ant-Man and Tony. Ant-Man killing it.
Stop repeating yourself. You said we had one shot. We blew it.
We had one shot. We shot it. It's shot. You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. You didn't want to do the time heist. You were against the high time heist. You ruined the time heist. Is that what I did? Yeah.
So then, Tony figures out, because they only had a Pym particle for one round trip, so they had one particle left to use to get back. So then Tony figures out a time where they could get more Pym particles and get the Tesseract. So they, which I realize is actually the linchpin for the end of Cap's story now that I'm thinking about it. So they travel back to the 1950s, where we get our final Stan Lee cameo. Not his best, but still great.
Yeah.
Him driving past the army installation. Hey dudes, make peace, not war. They go to the army base where Captain America was made. And we get a call back to Winter Soldier of the hidden bunker for S.H.I.E.L.D. They sneak in to S.H.I.E.L.D. Tony goes for the Tesseract. Cap goes for the Pym particles. Tony finds the Tesseract in the safe down below, and then using his Iron Man suit just easily breaks into the case. And then, as we said, runs, no alarms or anything too far in the past. Then he runs into his father. So it was the date in particular because that was the day he was born?
No, because he said his wife's due soon.
Yeah, he said his wife's due soon, but Tony was just like, there's a reason I know. And he gave that exact date. And I'm curious to see if that's his birthday.
Hmm.
I would doubt it. Because
So, yeah,
why of that particular day? Like, why couldn't he go a week before that day or a week after?
because
that?
I could imagine where it's like Howard had told him, like, yeah, the day you were born, I had gotten some flowers, had just talked with Hank Pym or something, and then found out that your wife or, your mom went into labor.
Why would he talk to Hank Pym of all people?
No, just like he could have mentioned.
Why would he tell? No. Why would he tell his son he talked to Hank Pym?
I don't know. I'm just
that's-
trying to
that's what I'm
find out
like.
why Tony would know that.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I'm
that
that's
seems
all-
reasonable to me.
To me, it's more reasonable that his mom mentioned the date. Like your father showed up one day with just flowers, and it was really nice. And maybe Tony asked about it, and his dad told him some stuff, as opposed to his dad
Yeah.
just going, "Yeah, Hank Pym."
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that's his birthday or not. Because like he said there's a reason I know, but they never give the reason. So, he has a conversation. Yeah, my name is.
It could be. It's nope, can't be.
I like that. So what's your name, son? Howard. Easy to remember. What's your last name? Potts. And just they have a very good conversation as far as like being dads and just like, it's like, did you feel qualified? Were you nervous? Just like as we stated before, a lot of closure with Tony's character as far as like his relationship with his father and all that stuff. And then we see the de-aging technology at work again with fucking Michael Douglas. Holy shit.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How did Star Wars get this so wrong?
Under the same banner.
It's ridiculous. Carrie Fisher looked awful.
Grandma Tarkin or whatever that fool's name is. Terrible.
Oof. Oof.
They just cartwheeling all over this. I don't understand. What happened?
Well, I will say Carrie Fisher wasn't actually Carrie Fisher as some other actress, and they just digitally painted Carrie Fisher's face on her. Doesn't make it
Terrible.
really any better. But that's what they did. But Cap tricks I was gonna say Michael Douglas, Hank Pym into. And we get to see the classic Ant-Man helmet, which is cool. Saying like, oh, there's like a radioactive package. He goes, gets the Pym particles. As he's walking out, the lady that they rode the elevator down with has some guards trying to look for Steve and Tony, and that's when we get the scene of him seeing Peggy Carter again.
Two community reunion. Ridiculous. Why?
I would have loved Donald Glover and Miles in this, but it ain't happening.
Yeah. No time. Literally no time. So yeah, they get the Tesseract, they get the Pym particles, they get back.
Hey, I'm down for a 4-hour Avengers.
Give it to me. Speaking of which, how was y'all's bathroom situation? Because it was
Held
like
it.
hour and a half in. I'm like, uh-oh.
I made sure to go right before.
Bruh, I didn't even feel it till the credits rolled. Then I was like, I gotta piss.
I had a big beer when I first saw it, so it caught up to me. But yeah.
Good.
They get back, realize that Black Widow's dead. They have the whole.
Bruh, you missed him looking at Peggy.
I said that.
You missed the full circle of Stark's conversation of telling his dad he did all he could or the best he could, because he didn't say that in the hologram, but he says it in the hologram.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
So he
That's true.
finally got to tell his dad he did the best he could.
And just
Great
like
moment.
kind of realizing that like, yeah, like his dad was harsh, but like the whole line just like, yeah, my dad always said there's nothing that couldn't be solved with a belt. It's like, okay, my dad didn't abuse me. Did the best that he could. He was better than his dad, and I'm trying to be better than my dad. Yeah, and then the very awkward hug. And then we got a oh fuck. What was the Peggy Carter show?
Vision.
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. Jarvis from the show had the brief cameo appearance in the movie. So yeah, they get back, realize Black Widow's dead. They have the scene of, it's like, oh, we'll just use the stones to bring her back, and it's just like, it can't happen. Like, it's a done deal. And just the whole, it's like, I wanted to be me. It's like, you talk to the red guy. you take your hammer. You go talk to the red guy. And we can see a little bit of the Hulk rage.
Red floating guy said.
Yeah. So she's not coming back. And so they build a gauntlet, put the stones in. Thor tries to volunteer himself, but just like, dude, you are still not okay.
Yeah.
And then Hulk.
It has to be me.
And
It has to be me.
there is precedence for
gamma radiation. It's like I was made for this.
there's precedence for that gamma radiation comment too, just because in Avengers 1, the Tesseract gave off minor gamma radiation.
Mm-hmm.
And they hunted for it by using Banner's knowledge of gamma radiation. So that's the thing, like there's precedence even in the past movies, which is insane.
It's almost like the Hulk is the best.
So
Don't shake your head. Nod your
I
head.
did a slight eye shake.
while they were doing
I
this,
can't agree nor disagree with that.
while they were doing this, past Nebula is hijacking the time machine to bring Thanos to the current time, past Thanos. Excuse me. They they like prepare to put the gauntlet on. I just love all right, activate Barnyard Protocol. Close in, make sure everything's good. They all suit up. Hulk puts on the gauntlet. And I'm curious too, like, I feel like it wouldn't have been as bad if they actually had the legitimate Infinity Gauntlet, just because it was made specifically to contain the power, but since it was like a shoddy replacement, it affected Hulk more.
Yeah.
But also, Ebony Maw went, there's no one in the universe with the power, the grace to yield not one but two stones. So it also could have just been a combined might of the stone.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we got Ebony Maw back!
You happy about that?
Yeah, I love Ebony!
Squidward. So, struggling through it, Hulk manages to snap his fingers. Fucks
The
himself up.
best.
His right arm is just toast.
Oh yeah, big done.
And then they're like, did it work? Did it work? Ant-Man walks out into a corridor, sees like there's way more birds outside. And then Hawkeye gets a call from his wife. Which goes to show, it's like, damn, man, he kept the same cell phone for 5 years.
Same number, good reception.
Boy, he paid that bill every month.
Topping up Yakuza, but hey yo, PG to MP, Metro PCS.
You feel like they're trying to track him down. Black Widow could have just called him. You still have this.
Yeah.
You're trying to be an underground vigilante, psychopath murderer. You didn't change your number.
You're not wrong there.
Ronan.
Yeah. Da-da-da. And during that whole thing, Thanos' ship got like sent into, basically flew out of the time machine into space, wrecking the time machine in the process. So they're like, Ant-Man's just like, guys, I think it worked. And then Hulk notices that there's an overcast, looks up in horror. Thanos just rains missiles down onto the compound.
Yeah, and they showed the shot of Ant-Man getting blown away. I'm like, did they just kill Ant-Man?
No, you can see him shrink like right as it hit.
Yeah.
So the entire compound basically gets put into a crater, a giant fucking crater.
Yeah, that boy is
Everyone
done.
is like basically almost down for the
If
count.
you watch
Hulk.
the trailer and you think they're on that other planet when they go to confront Thanos,
Mhm.
no, that's just the Avengers compound laid to waste.
Mm-hmm. Hulk, which this is harkening back to a whole comic I realized, where Hulk is basically holding up the entire fucking building with one hand, preventing it from crushing Rhodey and Rocket.
Oh,
Question,
Need
I
to save him though.
Hmm?
Save him. Or
What?
was it Ant-Man?
He didn't save him. He saved Rhodey and Rocket and also Hulk. Hulk was also there. Hulk was like, I guess you could save me. But he could have if he wanted to. He was worried about Rocket and Rose. So that's why he couldn't use his full strength. Otherwise, no problem.
So I didn't notice this, but now I'm thinking back on it. So like Rhodey, like the War Machine suit got fucked and he like crawls out of it. Was his leg apparatus damaged too?
It seemed that way.
Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why was he crawling? But I'm like, he's paralyzed, so maybe just his leg apparatus got damaged too, so that's why he had to crawl to Rocket in order to get him out.
But
Yeah,
I also
that
feel
makes
like
sense.
maybe it just needed a reboot or something.
Maybe.
Because later on he comes in a new suit and he's fine.
Yeah, but the suit might be powering his legs. For all
I
I
also
know.
like that everybody had their dumb time travel outfit, and he just had his War Machine armor just painted. Like, I'm sticking to this armor.
Yeah.
Here we are. This is all I got.
So Ant-Man goes and tries to basically save Hulk, Rhodey, and Rocket because it's starting to flood. Clint wakes up. He's in some tunnel. The Infinity Gauntlet's there with all the stones. And he starts hearing shit. He turns around and looks. Thanos' war dogs are on him that he's never seen before, so he just starts fucking booking it.
As anyone would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
Thanos lands on the ground and then Nebula comes up and just like, he's like, good work. He plants his glaive, puts his helmet up. They're like, go find the stones, bring them to me. What will you do? Wait. Just sends her on
down
and waits.
with his awesome double sword thing that he never used in Avengers. Why didn't he use that? That thing was awesome.
He had the stones.
Freaking helicopter sword.
He was piecing up the Hulk and then he got a stone or two.
That was still when he first walked out, he had that. I was like, you better use that. That was an amazing weapon.
It was. That was a really good design too.
So
Arrogant, never do.
during that point,
Love that line.
Cap or Tony wakes up Cap. He got knocked unconscious. They walk out. Thor's already out there. It's like, what is he doing? Or what has he done? Absolutely nothing. He's just sitting there. Oh, also, I think during that point, Clint is running away. He manages to slay all of the beasts and then basically just like lays down and rests.
Yeah.
And then Thor summons Mjolnir, summons Stormbreaker. Let's kill him properly this time. Gets a little bit of his badassness back, which really, I realize it's like they had to make Thor fat in order to gimp him. Because he was way too fucking strong at the end of Avengers Infinity War.
And also, you get a whole lot of good reverse jokes with the Guardians. When they first met him, and like, oh, he's chiseled, he's like a god. Now that he's all fat, you have a reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for Guardians 3.
Yeah.
As Guardians of the Galaxy, which I would pay much
Yeah,
money to go
Yeah,
to.
I'd watch that because I love me some Thor.
Yeah.
Much money.
They walk up. Thanos gives one of his great lines, "You couldn't live with your own failure." And where did that bring you? Back to me.
Yeah.
So he goes through his whole thing. They start fighting him. I think that's when they start fighting him. That's when it cuts back to Hawkeye. Then it cuts back to them. I think we have a small cutaway to Gamora and Nebula, future Nebula, and
Correct.
Gamora is like what what was our relationship like? What happens to us in this timeline? And she's just like, I tried to kill you multiple times. But then we eventually became we became friends. We became sisters. And then just the thing that she tried to do to her her time sister, where she knocks her hand away to try and help her up, she grabs on. And Gamora's just like, we can stop him together. Fighting happens. Tony, good combo move with. I love the combo moves. Tony opens up the bat canopy.
Always the best.
All right, Thor, light me up. He gets lightning in both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, channels it through Tony, all of the beams. But then, granted, when I first saw this, I was pissed off just because I hate the trope of you have a staff-like weapon, and then it's like, oh, I'm just going to turn it where you can't see my hand turning. Ruby does this a lot. And it's just like, oh, this blocks projectiles. But you can kind of tell it was motorized. So that was slightly annoying. But Tony gets fucked up by Thanos, and also fucked up by Mjolnir, because Thanos blocks Mjolnir with Tony.
Yep.
He gets knocked out. Cap tries. Cap tries.
Cap doesn't do, but Cap tries.
He gets just pushed away like a fucking rat. Thor goes up, gets fucked up a little bit, tries to summon Stormbreaker. Thanos grabs it in the middle of the air because it don't have the worthy charm, and he's trying to shove it into Thor's chest, and then you see Mjolnir get lifted off the ground. Thanos gets hit in the face.
When it fell, I instantly knew what they were going for.
Oh yeah.
I went, oh yeah, this is Cap. It's coming.
Yeah.
And just how they frame that scene too. It hits him in the face. You see it float. You see it fly back and just caught. And just my theater, both times that I saw it, applause. The loudest applause was for that moment.
We didn't get any of that. Thank you, people.
I'm fine with it.
Nah.
Then one of the best action sequences in any Marvel movie ever, of Cap just mopping shop, summoning thunder, all the goodness, using the shield in combination with the hammer.
He's just a dude.
Well, it's the thing though, like in Thor it says whoever shall wield this hammer shall have the power of Thor. So he got as strong as Thor just by being able to wield that fucking hammer.
We don't know that. It might have just been thunder.
As far as comics and precedents, if you have that hammer, you get the god strength too. So, because his punches and kicks weren't doing anything until he picked up the hammer, and then they started doing something to Thanos. So I think it gave him a power boost too.
But, I think so. That's what I figured as
then
watching it.
Thanos gets the upper hand and just starts wailing into the shield and breaks it.
Yeah, Thanos started actually trying.
A lot of people were. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
A lot of people were hoping, as you said, like people are trying to find overt tie-ins to X-Men. A lot of people were thinking like, oh, they're gonna say Thanos' weapon is adamantium, but
shut up.
Yeah.
Space.
But he breaks it in the same way that he does in Iron Man's vision.
Yep. Indeed, he does.
Great.
And then in all of my times of conquest, bloodshed, it's never been personal. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to enjoy what I'm about to do to your world. Good shit.
Oh yeah.
Summons the army.
Is just amazing. It's why he didn't deserve it. Hashtag Thanos did nothing wrong.
Summons his army. Cap has his scene. And then Cap and Sam.
Cap has the only scene. That's the only scene in the movie.
Only one?
That's the only scene in the movie.
3 hour long. 3 hours.
Yep.
3 hours long.
They just looped it.
Then on your left.
I'll go for a second, please.
Summons fucking everyone. You get Shuri.
So good.
You get Black Panther. You get Oyoki. You get Strange. Quill. Drax. Spidey. I have people marked out when Spider-Man swung into in my theater. Just everyone. Wasp. I love when it's like, is that everyone? You wanted more? And then Avengers assemble. And then just the whole charge, that whole scene, like the whole flowing shot of everybody doing stuff. Ant-Man decking the Chitauri worm.
Yeah.
Great. And then just
so much going on.
Oh yeah. But it all it flowed so well.
I can't wait until the Blu-ray comes out where I can just like look at everything in depth, like all the little nitty-gritty things. And then there's just so many moments interspersed in this where Peter meets up with Tony and he's just like, hey, I got all dusty and then I passed out for a bit and then I woke up and just Tony's just like, I did something good. I finally did something good, and he just hugs Peter. This is nice. Then him meeting up with Strange. It's like, is this it? This 14 million in one chance. Is this it? If I tell you, it won't happen.
Strange was not in this a whole lot, but he was.
Well, that's the thing, though. He knew his part. So he didn't do more than he had to. Plus, he was stopping a fucking flood.
He's like, yeah, I know everything's going to be cool.
Yeah. Then, let's see, what are the other moments? Oh, yeah, earlier, way earlier, Clint is laying basically unconscious, and then, oh, Nebula's here. I know you. I'll give you the gauntlet. It ends up being past Nebula. Gamora and future Nebula corner her and try to get her to, like, I changed, you can change too. And just, he won't let me. And then past, or future Nebula kills past Nebula. Which, in a way, is a little bit, symbolic of, like, truly killing off the shit she hates about her past.
Yeah.
They have very physical manifestation. Then during the giant battle, Quill reunites with, air quotes, reunites with Gamora. Although this Gamora doesn't know who he is and knees him in the nuts twice.
Yeah.
This is the one? If the choice is between either him or a tree. Trying to think of other moments. Oh, they so Clint is then on the battlefield just running with the Infinity Gauntlet. And then, Cap, what should I do with this? Like, we need to destroy the stone. It's like, no, we need to send them back to their correct time. Which I love the transition from that scene. Like, Cap is like holding off one of the aliens and then he just chucks it, but then Hulk just catches it and chucks it further away. So we need to send the stones back to their time. It's like, but the time machine's gone. Oh, there's still one time machine. Does anyone see a ugly brown van? Then they're like, okay, we need to get that to the van. Oh, there's a good scene before where as it's flying through all the different stuff, it shows Cap and Thor fighting next to each other. They summon the weapons back. Cap gets Stormbreaker. Thor has Mjolnir. He's like, no. Give me the big one. I want the big one. Then there's a bunch of small little callback moments that come up with as the gauntlet's being passed. So Hawkeye's getting a bit overrun. And then Black Panther shows up and he goes, Clint, give me the gauntlet. And that's a callback to...
That's a callback to Civil War!
Civil War, where...
Why did they think of this?
Hawkeye introduced himself. It's like, hi, I'm Clint. We haven't met. I don't care.
I don't care.
Clearly he did. So
He's a nice man. He's a nice man.
Yeah. So he...
Patooey.
Give me the hammer.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He makes his charge, ends up getting cornered by Thanos and Squidward. I forget the dude's name.
Ebony. Respect on his name.
I was just listening to somebody talk about the Birdman situation too. I forgot how funny that situation was. I'm not gonna say it no more.
The Squidward tries to summon the gauntlet to him. Black Panther gets it, and then Spider-Man comes through, grabs it from him, and then lands, activate instant kill. Eyes go red from Homecoming, and he just starts poking all the war dogs around him, stabbing him.
That scene hyped me up so much. I was
so
clapping.
good.
I was just so excited.
Then cuts to a bunch of different battle scenes, and then just, I got this, I don't got this. And then another callback to Civil War. Hey, Queens, heads up. Cap throws Mjolnir. Spider-Man latches onto it. Blast. Oh, wait, I forgot. When Black Panther got cornered, Thanos gets hit, and then Scarlet Witch lands. That was another moment that I was hype about, too. Where she just fucks him up.
Kind of almost kills Thanos single-handedly.
He would be dead. He would
yeah.
legitimately be dead if he didn't go, look, I can't care about the troops right now. Kill everybody.
Yeah.
Rain it down. Fire it more.
But sire, the troops, I'ma fucking die if you don't do this right now. So shit rains down. Parker's riding Mjolnir. He gets shot down. Pepper, who's in the rescue armor, forgot to mention that shit.
That
She
armor
tries.
looks so good.
It looked so
Yeah.
good.
The scene of her and Tony blasting back to back. Good stuff.
Yes, it was perfect.
Then she tosses him to Valkyrie. Hi, what's your name? Oh my god! Horse gets blasted. He basically starts cowering, and then as the ship's raining fire, the guns divert upwards, start firing. They're like, something's entering the atmosphere. Captain Marvel comes down, just blows the fuck up out of Thanos' ship. Has her little scene with Peter. Just, hi, I'm Peter Parker. Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me? And then now we get to the most controversial scene in the movie.
I rolled my eye.
It didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen. It happened. Basically, every prominent female lead shows up in the exact same spot in the battlefield. Was it A-Force is like the female-led Avengers team in the comics? Like
They're women. Who cares?
Hopefully none of them were with another person of another race. Whoa. DA would have had some real problems. Oyoki's dating the Winter Soldier.
Not on my watch. Dear Mr. Marvel.
You do realize Stanley's dead, right? I don't care! My voice will be heard! So yeah, all the female leads show up to basically help Captain Marvel get the gauntlet to the time machine. They all have their shining moments, which really, Captain Marvel could have just gotten through it on her own, but, you know. So she barrels through, heading towards the time machine. Another small, tiny, like, plot hole thing. Like, she's flying towards the van, and Thanos just runs past the van to go and try and take on Marvel head on. It's like, you could have...
He probably didn't know they were hit.
I guess, but like, I always
He
like...
was far away enough to where he could go, I don't know what is going on, but I see the gauntlet.
I guess. So he tries to go get them. Basically, 3 of the big heavy hitters fire a beam at him. He gets knocked off balance. Marvel flies past him.
Yes, 3 of the big heavy hitters. One of them being Shuri. The biggest, heaviest hitter of them all.
Well, compare...
She didn't say a word through this dumb movie.
Yeah, Shuri, Pepper, and Scarlet Witch, I believe, were the ones, right? I'm trying to think of anyone else that can do energy stuff. Also, like, when they showed up, all the characters that are, like, side by side, like, about to fight, what the fuck is Mantis gonna do?
Seriously! But you know what she has? She has a vagina. Get in there!
So, Thanos sees she's flying towards the van. He just chucks the glaive at it. Blows it up. Cue, Tony, Cap, Thor, and Marvel all trying to fight Thanos. And, like, one of the things that I feel like they, in the last movie and this movie, like, if something unexpected happens, Thanos gets caught off guard, but as soon as he, like, gets a beat of the person, especially one-on-one, he just tactically outwits everyone in, like, 1v1 hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, Tony tries to fight him.
Marvel.
He throws him off. He outwitted her with the Power Stone.
Yeah, I know. Joke.
Cap and Thor both...
But he was getting handled by her.
Oh, yeah.
That all sucks. He could have been killed so many times.
Yeah, both, like, Thor, I love it. He, like, gets Thanos in a pin, summons Mjolnir, presses down further, and actually, like, one of my favorite shots of Thor when he's just like, ah, with the thunder in his eyes. I'm like, damn, he looks badass right now. Full Viking beard. Cap comes around, tries to pull even further. Thanos manages to get out of the hold. Just decks Cap in the face, knocks him out.
Yeah, you done.
Enough of this.
You done, Captain America.
Goes for the gauntlet, gets it on, is about to snap the fingers. Captain Marvel comes in. They have a bit of a back and forth. She then grabs the hand to force it open. Thanos tries to headbutt her. Nothing. Then she basically...
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No saltish out of that.
I didn't like that because it didn't really show in her own movie, but my whole thing was she's either at Thor's level, like 10% below him, or 10% above him. But she's just like not anything for a headbutt. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way. She's way
At least
well, like,
recoiled.
to me, Infinity War Thor at the end of it was as strong as Thanos with all 5 stones. This Thanos didn't have time to acclimate to all the stones. He got the gauntlet on and was just trying to snap.
I mean, they had one scene together. How are you inferring that?
Just because he tried to use all the power of the stones to block Stormbreaker, and he didn't.
He wasn't acclimated there either.
I would say he had at least 4 of the stones acclimated. Or 5, sorry.
Okay.
He had them for less than a day.
But you can see, though, like, him fighting in this movie versus Infinity War, when he had the stones, he didn't need armor. He didn't need basically anything. He just could survive all this shit, like, purely on the power of the stones. That's what I inferred, anyways.
Plus, he didn't really fight Thor. He just threw a beam at him.
Yeah, and when he fought Hulk, he didn't use any of this.
Well, he already had the
and
he had
and
the power of the
Hulk's
Power
still
Stone
in.
already like in him.
I don't. What?
Like from what I'm seeing, the Power Stone gives you better endurance as well as like just strength in general. So endurance, durability.
But it wasn't glowing.
strength. He had the Power Stone when he fought the Hulk.
But it wasn't glowing when he had it.
I don't think it matters at that point.
Then why did it glow when he punched Marvel?
Well, I think like direct contact, you're acclimated to it better. I don't know. Like that's what I feel, because like obviously I'm trying to base this off of logic that's not explained in the movie. But
I
anyways,
think
she's
Thanos just strong as there is.
Yeah.
she's
Stone
crushing
on
his
Noah.
hand. He grabs the Power Stone and gives her a Power Stone punch that knocks her out. And then Tony looks over at Strange, and a subtle thing. So Strange looks at Tony and holds up one finger. His hand is shaking though, which
Hand's still shaking.
I liked that.
Amazing.
So he holds up like the 1 in 14 million. Tony realizes, he's like, "Yep." Goes up, grabs the gauntlet, gets pushed away. Thanos looks at him and then repeats a line that he had said his past or his current future self that got murdered by Thor said. He goes, "I am inevitable." Snaps his fingers, looks at the gauntlet. There's nothing there. Tony embeds the stones into his suit, and then utters a line that was improvised in Iron Man 1.
Oh yeah, Iron Man.
He goes, "And I am Iron Man." Snaps his fingers, dusts all of Thanos' army, including Thanos.
I was so sad for Thanos because he just sadly sat down like.
He sat down, and as he's dusting, his head just goes down.
I'm like,
Yep.
no, Thanos! No, come back!
Originally,
Save us!
they didn't have Tony saying anything in that moment.
Really?
Yeah, and the Russos, he talks. He gotta say something.
And then, first, Tony's basically irradiated heavily.
Mhm.
He just like lays back. First one to land is Rhodey. Rhodey just kind of gives a nod. Then Peter comes. He's just like, we did it, Mr. Stark. We won. You did it. And then Pepper lands. She's like, "Friday." It's like life science critical. And then she's like, "It's okay. We'll be fine. You can rest now."
Yeah.
And both, I will say, like, all the other good moments and stuff, both times I saw this movie, this is when I teared up.
Did you realize what Tony's last words was?
I am Iron
The
Man.
last thing he uttered before he died. No,
Hey, Pep.
was Pep.
Hey, Pep.
Yep.
Yeah, you can rest now. Was like both times. Just
Ah.
like,
Yeah. I
And
just.
he passed. Then he passes away. There's a montage of scenes now that I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the exact order because his funeral isn't right away. Oh, it's just them all going back to normal life, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter
Hawkeye
goes.
meeting with his family. Peter going to school.
Which, if you think about it, half of his class should be in college.
Yeah, they're graduated. They're done.
Yeah, just
I
him.
would love an older Flash Thompson. I also kind of like his redemption arc.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if they're going to address that in Far From Home.
well, yeah, Far From Home is technically the last movie of Phase 3.
Yeah.
It's not the start of Phase 4.
Nope.
Yeah, just
So that's
his
what I'm saying. I'm curious how that's gonna because there's gonna be like little things dropped.
Well, I think the
about
next
way
trailer for
world had-
Spider-Man is directly going to reference Infinity War. They were waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, they're directly gonna reference Endgame. I'm hopeful.
Or, yeah, sorry,
I I can't wait to see it because I really am curious to see how the world is going to be post return snap.
Yeah. Yeah, his reunion with Ned is cool.
Yeah.
Hawkeye seeing his family again. Ant-Man. Wakanda basically celebrating. Who else? I'm not sure. Well, I think Tony is giving a post-mortem momonologue, saying like,
yeah, throughout the
this,
scenes,
this
yeah.
time travel thing. Like, I really don't know if it's gonna work. There's this whole thing. The BG, you know the line. The journey, the end line.
Oh, you want me to recite it?
Yeah.
That's part of the superhero gig. Journey comes to an end.
Yeah, journey comes to an end. And it's like, who am I kidding? We're all gonna be fine. Then he stops, looks up.
What am I tripping for?
Yeah,
what am I tripping for? We're already fine.
Love you 3000. And just like, another point of tears welling up. And they have the funeral service. They float into the middle of the lake. His first arc reactor, proof that Tony Stark has a heart. And then they
that, by the way.
pan. I loved. It was interesting in the theater. Like, people laughed at that, but you could tell it was like a like, it was like laughter in the middle of tears.
Yeah.
And they pan across everyone. Strange, Pep, Tony, Hawkeye's family. And then the first time I saw the movie, they panned to a kid. I'm like, this teenager. I'm like, who is that?
Didn't know.
And then I looked it up. It was the fucking kid from Iron Man 3. He literally aged enough.
Get him in there.
This is perfect.
Just insane.
Yeah.
Who the fuck remembered that kid?
That's just luck.
That was good.
Yeah, and then they had Captain Marvel in the back, and then Nick Fury. Which, it would have been nice, again, they didn't have time to have a small scene with Nick Fury and Marvel, because they literally hadn't seen each other in, like, 30 years.
Y'all been here 3 hours and 18 minutes, and y'all mothers want...
You said, hey, you just said I would have a 4-hour movie.
I'm saying that's Marvel's mindset.
Yeah, that's Marvel.
Bro, give me a 4 hour. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I
for
will
real.
still be there from Saturday to today. Give it.
I was holding the flag for just extended 3 hours. The whole time I'm just like, just do it. People are gonna be there for you.
I wonder if there will be like Lord of the Rings an extended cut
Oh,
for
dear.
the Blu-ray release.
I would love that. Give me the 4.5-hour version.
Please.
Then
shoot as many scenes as you need to do and give it.
Yeah, there's a scene with Jon Favreau and Stark's daughter, which
is amazing.
He was the director of Iron Man. He was at the start as well.
He started everything, and they gave him that last moment with the character's legacy. Oh, that was so good.
It's like, I want cheeseburgers, and that was a callback to when Stark got back. First things first, I want an American cheeseburger.
Yep.
It's like,
you know who else like cheeseburgers? Your dad.
I'm gonna get you all the cheeseburgers you want.
I loved it.
Then we, I believe, cut to Thor, who had New Asgard, and he proclaims that Valkyrie is the new king. And then has the scene with the Guardians. I'm just like, we all know who's in charge here. Me. Of course. Yeah, as Guardians of the Galaxy should be pretty dang good.
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to use guns, we can give you knives.
Oh yes, daggers, please.
Then we cut to Banner, Cap, Bucky, and Sam. Cap is going to return all the Infinity Stones as well as Thor's hammer. And I loved how Bucky knew.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do anything stupid while I'm gone. And that's a line that he gave to Bucky in the first Captain America movie, and he recites it back. It's like, how can I? You're taking all the stupid with you. And it's just, I'm going to miss you, man. Like, he knew. He knew his best friend. So Cap goes back to the past, returns the stones of Mjolnir, and stays. And they're like, trying to get him back. Bucky turns around, sees an old man sitting at a bench, tells Sam to go up, and again, in fucking reverse, old Cap looked good. He kind of looked like Clint Eastwood, but he looked damn good.
Looked amazing.
Amazing. I was like, dang, did they get somebody? No, this is just Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Did something go very wrong or very right? I thought
Way too good.
thought I would try out some of that life that Tony's been harping about. It's like I'm pretty bummed. It's like I'm happy for you. I truly am, but I'm pretty bummed that have to live in a world without Captain America. And there was always a big debate of who was going to get the shield, just because both Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes have been Captain America, and it ends up being I think they're really trying to go for current comics lore now.
Yeah.
Plus, the Bucky that the world knows, they're not gonna rally behind that guy.
True.
No.
Well, there's the series coming up, Winter Soldier, and so Sam gets the shield. Cap like shakes his hand and pats it, and he has a wedding ring on. You want to tell me about her? No, I think I don't.
Oh,
And then last
greatest
scene
of all time
of the movie, he finally gets his dance.
Yeah.
He is
So-
no, I don't think.
So that that to me begs the question. One, in Winter Soldier, Peggy states that he saved the man who eventually would become my husband. So was that just Cap as well? I don't know.
Time travel is a funny thing.
So
There needs to be a beginning.
So when Peggy
seems
was
like-
having air quotes dementia with, past at that time Steve Rogers, was she fucking faking it? Like there's just so many interesting things that it brings up from past movies. Did Cap make out with his niece?
I think that everything happened in the movies as it was supposed to, as Steve was not there, and then when he went back, that made another timeline where all time travel needs a beginning.
Mhm.
Time travel needs a person to come back and go, I made time travel.
Yep.
When I was young, why didn't that guy come to me and say, I made time travel? No, because that dude was the beginning of it. So there needs to be a beginning, and Cap was the beginning of it.
Yep.
Cap still exists in this world and that world. They saw Cap go away, so he still exists. So it's not like it was just like nothing happened. They're just standing in this field for nothing. He existed. He was an Avenger. There's another Cap in Ice, I think.
That's what I like.
think
He just basically stayed hidden the entire time. Like, basically, she was married to him secretly, and basically he just knew events that would unfold but didn't mess with it.
I don't think so. I think that she lived her life with another man happily, and then this Steve went back and made a whole nother sort of diverging timeline.
Well,
sort of
as
right
far
on
as the
top
rules
that
of the
timeline.
as far as the rules that were established in the movie, that's not possible. The only way you divert a timeline is if you fuck with the Infinity Stones.
I'm sure that's not the only way.
At least I'm going by what the movie presented to me.
Because again, there has to be a starting point.
Well, I think you're like in the movie, you're basing that off of other fictions rules of time travel, where Hulk says those are all bullshit. So I'm just like, to me, basically just the fact that he traveled back at that point and then stayed and then was there and had lived a full life, he was there the entire time. That's Steve Rogers.
I don't think.
And he just showed
'Cause
back
at
up.
At that point, he could have prevented a bunch of tragedies, but didn't.
Because he knew it wouldn't change anything from the other timelines.
But even a second of heartbreak for somebody, is it worth it to just go, I'm going to keep my anonymity, I'm going to be an old man? Is it worth it to not just go, hey, Thanos coming 2 days from now, lock up the stones?
I think he truly just lived a normal life. That's what I believe, anyways.
I don't think so. Because
No, this is what I believe. I believe when Cap went back in time, that's the end point for Captain America. So this loop is always going to happen. That Captain America went back in time and came back to our present time. And man, he didn't come back to our present time. He lived our present time. So what they're saying is the Captain America that went back, and this Captain America that's there is the Captain America that already lived that time.
Yes, exactly.
So at any given point, there are 2 Captain Americas in this present timeline.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I don't think that the Avengers pre-Endgame, there was Steve Rogers was in the 50s. That Steve Rogers. I don't think.
No, absolutely not. It's like
But it started off right here and now when he went back in time.
Yes.
That's when that Steve Rogers.
Correct.
That's what I don't think that
absolutely
Steve
what happened.
Rogers was there the entire time. I don't think that the plane went down and then Peggy was sad and then Steve Rogers was like, "Yo, I'm here." No.
Well, no,
that didn't
it would have been.
until-
Well, first of all, it would have been like 6 years later.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was in the
but
1950s.
I'm just saying that's. But I think that he was the beginning of Steve Rogers going back in. There was not a Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers. There were not 2 Steve Rogers in Iron Man. Not Avengers 1. There was not 2 Steve Rogers. There was not an old man. There is now. Because he went back, but he had to go back in order.
I don't like it.
I mean,
it's an interesting discussion. I'm curious, like, if that'll ever be explained or not. Probably not, but it's fun to think about. Timey-wimey stuff. Time junk. There we go.
Yeah, time junk. It'll, again, like I said, Far From Home is going to set up a lot, so we'll see.
Yeah. So, yeah. This movie had a lot of callbacks.
Also, I super love them signing at the end. Their
Yes.
autographs with it.
The credits were awesome.
All of them were great. I love banners, not just because I'm slugging
Oh,
hard
no.
penis.
With him with his back turned
Yes.
and looking back.
Yes.
No, it's big good. It's
Yeah, no, it
big,
was.
big good.
Yeah, those credits were great.
And right when those people start, the part of the music that everybody knows kicks in, it's so f***ing good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just in shadows and just their silhouettes, and that was whoever did that did an amazing job.
They did.
Whoever thought of that, they raised them.
Give them more money, lift them up. Every form of raise. But yeah. Best Marvel movie? Like, I feel like it is.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
No,
What's yours?
You don't
then?
think so? It's be hard
Infinity
to beat
War was better.
that. You know what?
It
This
is.
is the best Avengers movie.
I literally cannot be objective to this because it has time jump. And
I
time
understand
jump
it.
is a hard equal 9. You have to
Mm-hmm.
work to bring that down.
And this movie did not break it
And it
down.
didn't bring it down. It just shot right through the ceiling. So I don't know. I'm too biased about time junk. So I don't know.
To me, Infinity War is better because there's a lot more Thanos. He killed it in Infinity War. It's basically Thanos movie.
Every scene with him was shine.
Yeah, and there's just not enough of that in here. I love the time junk, and I love the character interactions. I love world and everything. But to me, Infinity War, Thanos just killed it. He just
The focus in Infinity War does set it above a little bit. Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
is Infinity War your favorite Marvel movie then, or would you consider it the best Marvel movie?
No.
best. Probably.
I'd say Infinity War is my favorite. I think this is the best. But my favorite is Iron Man 1. And probably always will be.
I would probably say either Infinity War or Endgame is the best. My favorite still is Winter Soldier. I love that movie. That was after I rewatched Avengers 1 and Age of Ultron. That was the next movie I rewatched.
Yeah.
You know what? Avengers 1 might be the best.
You think so?
Might be.
I rewatched Avengers 1. I wouldn't put it better than Infinity War or
The way I feel about it is that was the closest to Loki being right, and it shouldn't have worked. Plus,
There's no reason why it should have.
you can't replicate the hype of that final battle.
was a good moment.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Infinity War was probably the best.
When I rewatched it, I had to, just as I always do when I rewatch Infinity War, when I get to the eyeball scene, I'm like, okay, frame, 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 frame. There's my sister. Frame, 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 frame. And there's my sister. Okay, we're done. She's literally in like 0.25 seconds of that movie.
My favorite Marvel movie might actually be the first Avenger.
Okay.
Not the first Avengers.
Oh, Captain America.
The first Avenger. Because Cap the best.
Oh, really? Because a lot of people have turned on that movie.
It's not a great movie, but Cap the best.
Yeah,
Him
like
with the garbage can shield, him jumping on the grenade. You can't beat those moments. Those are character moments that you cannot beat.
Defining.
I'm sorry you didn't get a big old action scene, but it's Cap the best. Like, I'm not doing no good just doing these shows. And I'm just
So
being
great.
the best.
Yeah, but people have turned. A lot of people said that Captain Marvel would have been amazing.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, that it actually would have been. It's kind of mediocre here and now with all the great stuff. Back then, it was, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah, it's super mediocre. I don't know why people say it's great. It's
yeah, for me,
feel the
like
same way about Wowo though. So who am I?
You're a bum.
yeah,
When's the
for
last
me,
time you saw Wowo?
You asked that last time.
And what was your answer?
The time that we saw it.
Oh, might want to revisit that one, kid.
Yeah.
But again, I felt the same way I felt about Panther when I was. Now, if we're talking about JoJo Part 5, oh boy, I gave JoJo before I read the end a 4. It went down to a 3.
I
That
told
ending
you.
was just do.
I told you it was too high. That is a
Yeah.
2 for me.
Yeah, it is. That's 2.
It's not.
You're gonna rethink.
I'm not.
so yeah,
We
Avengers
won't.
Endgame. I'm going to see it. Well, yeah, I'm going to see it again for sure. I know I'm going to be taking my
I
mom
need to
to
see it in 3D.
go see it.
Plus, if
I
you go to-
unintentionally saw it in 3D. However, I was off to the side, so the 3D
Oh,
was
no.
kind of fugly.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like the characters that were in focus were good, but like anything that was in the background was super obscure.
But don't worry, you can go to AMC this weekend and see it and get a free mini poster if you watch it in IMAX.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So let's.
So go ahead and go to your AMC. Y'all don't understand how much I dislike
Yeah, it's a
AMC.
trash movie. They don't be.
So let's see. Endgame right now has made $1.48 billion.
Smashed so many records.
It might
Oh,
be
yeah.
Avatar.
It definitely destroyed that freaking toilet, The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Smash that. So
We're
I
talking-
can't wait for this new movie to make $136.
Shoot, Mike's gonna be 100 of it. The other 36 is gonna be dollar shows.
So let's see. Right now, so Avengers Endgame currently is the 8th highest grossing movie of all time, and it's been out less than a week.
It's been 6 days. It has been 6 days.
It just beat out Age of Ultron.
The entirety of Age of Ultron's run in 6 days.
So now we have Furious 7, Avengers, Jurassic World, and
No!
Bruh, it's actually America America went nuts. I don't know what happened. They turned to China for a month. They just went cuckoo.
People love them some Jurassic Park, and it was a return to form. And then Fallen Kingdom came out, and
it wasn't a return to form. Jurassic World was mediocre from the get-go, and people need to...
I'm saying from Lost World and Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, because they went back to a park. Shut up.
Yep. 4 is Infinity War, 3 is The Force Awakens, 2 is Titanic, and 1 is Avatar.
Yeah. Force Awakens is through.
Yeah,
yeah.
Force Awakens is 2,068 million.
Oh yeah.
Avatar so deserved.
No. That 3D buzz, boys.
Just hype and just people marking out and just following like idiots.
And people are like, it was a really good. And then they rewatch it and they were like, well, when I saw it at home, good as I, but when you saw it in theaters in 3D, you were blown away. I don't give a you animation fuggos.
There were 2 YouTubers that went to a beach. It was they just pull people over like name an Avenger. They named it. Okay. Name someone from Star Wars. If you can name anyone from Avatar, I'll give you $50.
Aang?
It's the #1 highest grossing movie of all time. And no, I'm sure they had somebody, but the narrative is funnier.
Ong?
They probably gave away $300 that day.
Yeah, people did answer Aang and all. It's a good video.
Terrible.
All right.
General Horseshack? I don't know. I know the Navi.
Yeah.
Sully and
That's more than I remember, I'll tell you that much.
I always forget the chicks.
Nefarty?
I don't think
It was
Gamora.
good.
It's actually Gamora.
Yes, clearly.
No, I think it's the
You
same
should've looked
actress,
up
if I'm not
Avatar
mistaken.
Or Avengers.
Might be. I think so.
I can find that out pretty darn quickly.
I'm looking now.
not. Oh, I want to
Yeah.
think of this myself.
All right, turn away then.
No, I want to know. 'Cause I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana.
Dr.
She's
Grace
she's
Augustine
Gamora. All right,
But
we have been going on for almost as
Atari.
long as Avengers Endgame. Actually, we wait
Yep.
30 seconds, and we will be going as long as Avengers Endgame. All right, what facts do we got, good sir?
You asked the wrong thing. I hate you, Mike.
What?
I was hoping that you would ask, do we have any facts? And I would answer, no, I don't think I will. You f***ed it up. No facts. We've been going for 2. Let's just end this.
Facts. Avengers Endgame. Good fucking movie. Go see it.
Well,
Everyone
if-
saw it already.
If you're listening to the podcast after we said spoiler warning, and you haven't seen it, I'm a little worried.
I literally think that everyone who wants to see this has seen it.
Yeah, at this point,
is spoilers free game.
I mean, Amber has seen it. That girl doesn't see anything on
To me,
time.
Spoilers after the second weekend, it's open season.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, give it like
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost 2 weeks.
you've got the opening. Yeah, you've got opening weekend.
We can have
Agreed.
2
No.
weeks.
2
I agree.
weeks. What you go through that second weekend, so that second Monday, full spoilers. If you ain't seen it by now, you have no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in 11 days.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see it that bad, you would have seen it.
The only thing I got spoiled was Tony and Black Widow dying. I just looked, fucking assholes on Twitter. I just looked up a comment thread for something, and just the first comment, Tony dies, Black Widow dies. I'm like,
Hey,
I had nothing
I
spoiled.
got the gif of Tony snapping and Thanos disappearing, which isn't terrible, but it confirms Tony's gonna die because
Yeah.
somebody else had I loved the snacks when I was in kid, and it was like Hostess cupcakes and stuff, and then in the corner it was like Black Widow dies, blah 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 dies. I was like, dang.
like you're that dedicated to spoiling shit.
That's kind of funny.
I was like, dang. Because that's so, like, you will never
Yeah, that's
recognize what it is. And it's just like,
Because it's like you see the picture and then you just kind of notice, like, hey, what's that in the corner? Fuck!
I avoided
Oh, yeah,
comment
yeah.
sections completely
and you
and got
can't.
nothing
And
spoiled.
if you like look away real quick and you blink, you already got it like in your mind's eye, and you're just reading. Oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Worst game of Where's Waldo in the world. All right. With that, thank you everybody for tuning into this really long fucking episode. I'm gonna go see Avengers again. I don't know about you guys. I'm just gonna go see it again.
I'm
Alrighty.
seeing it in 3D. Well, I might go to
Okay, I saw it in 3D.
Making fun
Hold
of
on.
me.
AMC.
I saw it
Look,
in
get that
3D.
poster.
I actually suggested. I really enjoyed it in 3D.
I'm going to see it in 3D. I'm going to see it in IMAX.
Oh, I want to see it in IMAX.
saw-
That sounds so fun.
When during the previews they had a few 3D trailers. One of them was for Dark Phoenix, and I'm like, oh yeah, this exists.
Oh, yeah, there was nothing for Dark Phoenix, bruh. That movie is make $4.
It's not out yet, man.
Oh, wait, one line.
Off the strength of the other movies, it's gonna make enough.
Hmm.
$0 is enough now. They bought out.
I think Game of Thrones is just gonna is all the hype that
Yeah.
movie needs.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeesh.
oh, Sansa's in this. Cool. All right.
People were
Dark
pissed off
Phoenix.
at this last episode, so I don't think you go.
Well, that's Arya. That's not Sansa.
I
She's
don't
cool.
give a.
People were pissed off about the entire thing.
I don't.
Mary Sue. All right, with that, let's get
Yeah,
the fuck
let's-
out of here. All right,
let's-
thank you,
we're done,
everybody.
yeah.
We will see you next week.
Later.